Yes.
Well, we can say, hey, viewers, anything wrong with the audio? Let us know.
We've done that in the past.
We have.
And then I go to the VOD, and it's not okay. And like half of the good stuff is unusable because the audio wasn't right.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's go.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
This week we're back with Dark Souls. We spent a couple weeks doing Demon Souls.
2 weeks, in fact. 2 whole weeks.
You know, a couple usually insinuates 2, Charlie.
I disagree. I believe in the Norwegian couple.
It could also insinuate like a joint, like a coupling.
That's true, that's true.
You know, but isn't that between 2 things?
No.
Yes. But it's one ship.
We are in fact live.
You know, one couple.
Let's see.
Doomslayer and Isabel, am I right?
Yeah. You are right.
Alright.
Nothing's on the YouTube yet. Oh, yeah, it is. Solid.
It's time
It's time.
to begin in earnest.
It is in fact time to begin in earnest.
This time we're gonna show Manus and Calamite who's a boss. Us.
Okay.
We're boss.
I'll be listening as let's just get into the game, I guess.
But
I feel
like, it looks like a caster, like a.
I was thinking a driving instructor. Like he's gonna be grading us today.
So, Benji,
Mr. Charlie.
could you go through the 3 steps to start a car?
Well, step 1 is turn on the speakers so you can hear the game.
Step 2.
Step 2? Step 2?
Step 2 is cast remedy.
Okay.
And step 3 is greet your audience. What's poppin' my parsimonious pog champs?
Wait, do some swings with that big old sword you got there for me.
No.
I only have one sword and it's not the one in my hands. It's the one in my pants.
Just swing with it. Swing with your catalyst. Make noise.
But do you swing with the tin callus? No, you stab.
Okay, I think the volume's fine.
Okay.
Sounds
fantastic.
If any viewer has a different opinion, then it sounds fine. You could just
send a complaint to our email at
you're wrong at gmail.com.
POTUS on Twitter.
Alright, all we've got left is Manus and Calamite, right?
Or like Cala Yeet. Am I right, my dudes?
Oh, do you want the paper?
That would be nice.
Wow, it'd be cool if you had a sick paper clip, am I right?
Do you mean a clipboard?
No, I mean a paper clip.
A paper clip is just a spring. Changed my mind.
I don't know what springs are, so.
You're not wrong.
You know what else is a spring? Every single piece of metal.
Yeah.
Some are bad springs though. They don't really spring much.
Yeah. Oh, killed Priscilla. Yeah, it's oh, and the Bridge Wyvern.
Oh, our favorite.
And the Titanite Demon and Izalith.
Well,
there you go. We can watch both. That solid compilation, as they call it.
let's just go straight for Manus.
Manus?
Manus?
The primordial man?
You know, they say that, but he doesn't look very like a man to me. He looks kind of like a giant.
That's why he's the
creature.
That's why he's the primordial man. We are not anywhere near him.
Also, as you know, during the time of the primordial giants, there was lots of oxygen in the atmosphere, so men were also very large, as well as their chungai.
Now he's in sportscaster mode.
There he is, going through the tombs. What are the tombs? What is he gonna do? There he is in his half summer. What's he gonna do?
That window like 75% as wide. The webcam.
Is it too large for you?
Look, I know everyone wants to see us, but we are just obstructing the game, you know?
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah, you guys caught some vaccine
is
action.
it Sanctuary? No, I think it's Township, right?
Sounds good. Oh, we disappeared in this one shot, then we get dragged back up. Oh, there we go. There we go. Nice.
What an exciting ride.
That was pretty exciting.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Killing Manus.
Primordial
we have
Man?
high hopes. We can do it. I gotta rest at the bonfire.
That is a pretty nice bonfire.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe what qualities of the bonfire make it nice?
Yeah. So you see how there's kind of sparks flying up around it?
Yeah?
It really gives this unsolid feel, which in real life bonfires are not solid. So by making it this nice spark and this slightly
I don't
translucent...
see any sparks.
Not sparks, I guess
Embers?
embers, yeah, flying around. It gives it a...
Oh,
As well as
there are
being
a couple.
slightly translucent, it gives it a real fiery look to it. Instead of just being a video game fire block, you know?
Like the magma block in Minecraft?
That would not make a very good fire in this game.
But magma isn't fire.
Alright, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is lava wet?
I saw some video in my recommended about that, but I didn't watch it.
I'd say no. I think wet has to be water. You can't get wet from liquid metal. You just get dead.
Kind of. I mean, you could survive initially a bath of mercury. I think you'd die.
Later on, you know, the
Later.
mercury poisoning.
Yeah. I don't know how. I guess mercury does get absorbed through the skin, right?
I have no idea.
Yes, it does. You have to wear gloves while handling it.
That's why Mad Hatters exist, am I right, my fellow Alice in Wonderland lore watchers?
I don't think that's Alice in... Well, I guess you could say that's Alice in Wonderland lore. It's more like
General fact.
just real-life history.
Yeah.
One time in...
But then again, you could say that it's Alice in Wonderland lore because that is the inspiration for the name and the thing.
Yeah, Mad Hatter.
The term Mad Hatter arose from... It was mercury, not lead. Lead was...
It was mercury. We were talking about mercury.
I know we were talking about mercury. I was trying to think of the actual process.
One time in 3rd grade,
Yep.
we were shown thermometers, and the teacher explained, hey, some thermometers contain mercury, so if they break open, don't touch it. And everyone but me took that as, oh, if you touch these thermometers he's put on the table in front of us, we're going to die. So when I picked it up, everyone turned, looked at me, and took a step back.
Dude.
And I said, what? And they're like, you're gonna die. I'm like, no.
Got infected by the mercury.
Should we stay away from you? I'm kind of scared. I'll just stab him.
You know, I could get used to that, but, you know, feel free to make your own decisions.
As he scoots away from me towards Max. Clearly, he wants to get Max mercury poisoning.
I already
Not
got it,
me.
baby.
Why do we have this stick? Oh, it's because we were fighting the...
Yes.
Man, we actually got the Titanite catch ball. That's pretty neat. What are we doing with the pyromancy flame?
It was
Doesn't
flash
matter.
sweat for fighting
So,
centipede demon.
so this
And
is a,
also the bridge drake.
so since this is a catalyst only run, does that mean any catalyst? Like, because you remember in Dark Souls 3, how when you go to what is it, New Londo? Not New Londo.
IKEA.
Yeah, no, no. Where you fight Pontiff Sullivan.
I lost no.
The big church.
Yeah.
You know how there's those silver knights who have the pitchfork thing that like
Yeah.
that you'd use? You could use that then, because that's a catalyst, right?
No, we cannot use that because
But it's a
we're
catalyst.
we're in Dark Souls 1.
No. I
though.
mean, like, if it did exist.
Yeah, if a catalyst exists in Dark Souls 1, we can use it.
I mean, like, but it's also a weapon. Like, is it that it has to be only a catalyst, or can a catalyst weapon also work?
It has to shoot the magic.
Okay.
It has to be able to do it. I mean, there's a catalyst in Dark Souls 2 that's a sword.
There's a lot of things in Dark Souls 2.
That are swords? Yeah. Happens in fighting games.
Oops, I went on the wrong elevator.
Is this a fighting game though? Would you define this?
Sorry.
As a
Dark
fighting
Souls
game?
is a kill game. It's not about fighting. It's
It is
about
a
death.
become kill game.
What's the difference between a kill game and a become kill game?
In a kill game, you kill. In a become kill game, you become kill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What does it mean to become kill?
You die.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Wow. Should I reference my stream referencing that Dark Souls 3? About all those humanity being a Dark Souls 3 reference?
I can't comprehend what you just said.
Yes.
T Max got it.
Yes.
I think he got done with you.
No, I got it. I understood, Charlie.
No, I know what you were trying to say, but only because I know you.
Well,
You know?
then you got it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Charlie talks in verbal cryptograms.
I when I speak in cryptograms,
oh man, they're
means
coming.
that you cannot get me.
Oh man, he's coming.
Do they damage
He's
you?
coming.
Oh
Wait, I
man.
want to see. How do they attack
Oh,
They just move into you. What? Oh, here it comes.
you? Oh, look at
Oh, he's
that.
gonna get-
Look at that big boy.
too bad.
Oh.
It's a monkey man.
Oh, wow. This is a pretty big hole, if I say so myself.
How do you know it's a hole? You can't see anything.
That's how I know
Exactly.
it's a hole. Because you can't see a hole. You only see the sides of the hole.
You know, that's like Midna's hand in Twilight Princess.
That's a very phallic-shaped pillar.
I suppose.
Would you look at that? It's a man.
Some would say
I feel like we have
a
less
prime.
horn eyeball things than him.
Yeah, I think so.
I wish we had as
I-
many as him.
I think you're less of a man, to be honest. Ooh-wee! This guy knows how to charge. And jump, apparently.
Yep. You know.
Astute observation, Charlie.
You know what I know how to
Dude,
do?
he just crushed the dick. What the oh, there's another one.
Thank you, Charlie.
good.
Everything you say is something no one else would have been able to know unless you said it.
Look, man, you gotta comment on what goes on.
He is dressed like a commentator.
He is. Manus
Did you
is, in
speak-
fact,
did you
dressed as a
just-
commentator.
Okay.
You can tell by the
I
many
wish
eyes.
you had just spoken in third person, but instead, you said that Manus is dressed as
Yes,
a commentator.
Charlie is in fact dressed as a commentator.
Which does not quite make sense.
Why does Charlie not make sense?
Alright.
Dude, I'm
As
just...
soon as the stream goes on.
Look, man, I'm just granting your wishes.
What wish?
You said, I wish you were just speaking in third person.
I did not say that.
You did.
I said I thought.
We'll find out later, I guess. We can find out now. Whatever.
Is there going to be some sort of mid-season finale later? I don't. What do you mean we're going to find out later? But
If you speak in third person, instead of saying we, do you say they?
I think so. Because we is first person.
the Nintendo they.
The Nintendo they. Yes. Astute observation.
It's like the old joke about the magic slide where you have to say your wish out loud when you're going down the slide, and the one person's like, "Oh, I want $1 million," as they go down the slide, and the second person's like, oh, I want Dark Souls 2 remastered. Not really. And the third person's just like, wee, and then they just drenched in piss. But maybe that's actually what they wanted. I never considered that when I was a kid.
That they want to be drenched in urine?
So, you know, I never really was aware of that I don't know when I became aware of fetishes, but...
You mean...
Maybe they were just, like, unabashedly pursuing what they wanted. And they weren't fools who were just enjoying the experience of going down the slide.
Probably. I mean, I've never said, wee, while going down the slide. I generally just, like...
Do you have
scream.
a straight face and you just go, this is a slide?
To be fair, you really have, unless it's like a water slide at a theme park, or if you're just at a park, like, you really have to try and enjoy the slide to enjoy the slide, even when you're young. Like,
yeah,
it's like 10 feet of a slope. It's kind of slippery.
Just a plastic tube.
A plastic tube. And sometimes they have like the, you know those slides that you go on sometimes at water parks? However, they're kind of poorly made and terrible. And they have all the seams around it, but they're not really sanded down. So if you don't wear like a swim shirt, you go through, and then by the end of it, after you've gone through the slide like 3 times, your back is just completely demolished.
Yes.
Those things suck.
Yes.
Like, there should be some government organization that basically just rates the average smoothness of slides. And it needs to be like at a certain smoothness to be legal.
You know, the slides I really dislike in the water parks are those like straight drop ones.
Like the ones you go in, then they go down, then shoot you out.
Yes.
You don't like those?
I hate them. I've never ridden one.
They're fun. I mean, you go fast and you go, you just get shot out.
Feels so dangerous.
I guess. I mean, if there's no water at the bottom, I'd agree, but I've never been to a water park that
Like,
shot
I'm
you
talking
out
about
of-
those ones where they just go like super steep.
Oh, like they drop you? Like your feet falls out beneath you, the floor?
Yeah.
Those ones are fun.
Oh, terrifying. I bring myself to do those.
It is definitely kind of freaky when you first get into it, but like, they're fun. You go, I mean, of course you go fast, you start falling, but it's cool. The funnest part is watching other people get into them, because some people, like, flip the fuck out.
For good reason. But also for bad reason, right? They are freaking out because they're, you know, like scared, but by freaking out, they're putting themselves in a greater risk of being injured.
It's true. I mean,
Ironic, isn't it?
I don't think there's that much of a risk of being injured. I can't imagine, like people just making slides that fucking kill people, at least in developed country.
Oh, you can't imagine that?
Yeah.
There was, what was it? I mean, it didn't make it to kill people, but there was like some theme park.
Or was it?
Gosh, I
Like
can't remember.
country.
Oh, this country.
United States?
Yeah, it was in the U.S. I'm trying to think when it was. I want to say there are colored pictures of it, so I want to say 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe 90s. But it was like super like not regulated and dangerous, and I think there were deaths in like one of the
Shit.
rides. Yeah. No, like with those like super fast drops, the thing that's kind of scary about those is, right, you're going at such a high velocity that any little injury that might occur, like maybe you get caught on a slightly out screw, right? And you'd get a normal scrape usually, but it's because you're going so fast, it becomes the injury becomes much worse.
Yeah. No, I don't know. My big fear on those kind of slides is, like, especially when they're enclosed completely, is that like the bottom's gonna be sealed or some shit, and I'm just gonna be stuck in a filling up slide. Like,
That can be arranged.
I'm good, man.
I'll do it.
I'm good. Thank you so much, though.
I once got stuck under a guy in an inner tube on one of those like Wild Rapids rides.
Like that. Wild Rapids, like
It looks kind of like stonework, like a rocky river, and you go down in a tube.
like a Disneyland, the California Adventure ride.
No, it's like a one-person tube.
Huh?
I got stuck under a guy in one.
Was it like a lazy river, or
No, much faster.
I assume you fell out then?
No, I just went down the whole tube. So I was young and.
This feels like a user error.
Oh yeah, no, I was an idiot, but I did get stuck under a guy.
Damn.
I'm not denying that I did stupid.
Did you like have someone fish you out, or did you just eventually?
Oh
just
no,
punch him?
he was there. I headbutted him off his inner tube.
What the fuck? Those guys just. You're like the.
Maritime law applies as long as you're on water.
Like, I just imagine that.
Headbutting's legal.
I just imagine that anime girl from that meme about senpai of the pool, give me your wisdom.
Give me your
But it's just Max just under this guy, and then the guy screams, fall over, then
I
Max's
could
head
give you
shoots
wisdom,
out.
or
I think I
could give
launched
you,
him like 4 or 5 feet.
Wow. That's a big headbutt.
assuming
Yeah.
a perfect, like, you must have been going pretty speedily.
Well,
If you were a child when you did that, it was a full-size guy.
Yeah, what age are we talking about?
Oh gosh, I want to say 8 or 9, maybe younger.
Wow.
But like I was stuck, and like I couldn't get out from underneath him.
Huh.
And so I was underwater. I was like, so I had to do something.
No, that's fair. I'd rather have you, like, headbutt some guy's ass instead of, drown underneath him. I'm sure he'd rather have...
He was like, when he launched off in the water, he like turned around and he saw me like, and he was like, ha! And then he like went down the river and gave me a thumbs up.
That's funny. Did you steal his inner tube? Like,
Yes.
This is mine now.
Yeah, I know. I took it as mine.
Solid. How old?
He okay. If you pay attention to the facts, Charlie, he stated he went down without an inner tube, which would mean that if he stole the inner tube, he then discarded it and went down without an inner tube.
Well, no, I took the inner tube from this man.
Like, this was during the river.
Yeah, no, this was during the river.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the ride, I was like stuck under this guy.
I like to think that people got confused, like, where did you get the intertube from? Then you're
Oh
like,
shit, is that Solaire?
oh my god, is that...
No, fuck,
This is
who
just
the-
not
It's
Solaire.
just a player.
Bring him in.
No. We can bring the NPCs, but bring a real player, they're just gonna like...
Not use a catalyst.
Because then
maybe.
any challenge run could just be like, you could just go into the next room on
Yeah.
like a fully equipped...
That's
You're not
true.
wrong.
Manus, we've come to face you.
Father of the Abyss.
Who's the mother of the abyss? A Taurus?
But,
There's a NPC in the boss room.
yeah, check this out.
I'm ready, man.
See, I was doing this fight yesterday, it was no problem. I was like practicing on a different character. But I didn't account for the performance
Oh,
hit that
sick.
comes from a long conversation about slides. And the whole time all I can think is water parks are like literal cesspools.
Yeah, they're not great.
Fun.
I kind of want to, like, Benji, if you ever practice again, you should have Max and I come into the room and just yell at you. Gotta give it a real, like,
Violently.
yeah, a real...
We might as well just stream at that point.
Exactly. Exactly.
Solid.
Hey, Sif.
The dog has sword.
This is cool. You can summon Sif. He's so small. Or she's so small.
It is...
No!
I swear to God, if Sif gets killed, we're gonna have to...
We already killed Sif ourselves in the
No,
timeline.
Sif's still alive. You summoned Sif.
You're just a furry.
Oh. It's like that Pokemon
Sif, you're not-
from Pokemon Sword.
you're not
the dog
doing
with
damage.
with a dog with the sword.
The general consensus about that game seems to be it's bad.
What game?
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. I kind of wanted it, but I have not heard great things about it.
Well, okay, so it sold really, really well, right?
Yeah.
But like people who are like fans of the Pokemon series are like very disappointed and unhappy with it. Whereas I guess it's sold to like a much younger crowd, a newbie crowd, which I suppose is their main target audience, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been a lot of the recent games. Like, I haven't been a big fan of the recent games. I did get Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee or whatever they were called.
I haven't had a Pokemon game. Well, actually, you know what? I did have one of the Sun and Moons.
Yeah, I got those. I did not get Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon.
I think I had. I don't think I got Sun or Moon. I think I got Ultra.
We have
Ultra
fulfilled
Moon.
the prophecy very quickly.
Talking about Pokemon,
Do we have a Twitch chat? Are we on Twitch?
we're on both.
We don't have anybody here yet.
That's too bad.
Unfortunate.
What? What are the red things?
They look like eyes, or they could be raspberries.
I've never really taken a good look at Manus because the only time you really see him is in this situation. And I'm a little too focused looking at his legs and hands.
Well, like, he has antlers, right? And he has red circles. Have you ever thought that he's just a mutation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yes.
I mean, like,
Thank you, Charlie. I just totally was oblivious to the towel of the combo.
It looked more like a tree than antlers.
well, he's a mutation. He was Rudolph.
Or he was an apple tree.
I could see that. They kind of look like glowing apples on a tree.
I reject that. I don't think Manus is a tree.
You think he's a man?
Literally in the name, he's both man and us.
Well,
And us.
And we are not trees.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know
Trees
about
don't. Trees don't have the flaws of humans.
that. Hmm.
Are you saying trees aren't sentient?
Proof?
Are you implying that sentience is a flaw?
Yes.
Trees are perfect. They give fruit.
Not all of them.
The bad ones
God damn
don't.
it.
Damn, that is definitely a combo.
Reminds me of the
Yeah?
Soul of Cinder combo.
Which one?
The combo.
The combo.
That is what I said.
Yep.
Yep, you did say that. Would you like to repeat it?
Look at Sif. What a good boy. Here you come.
Wow. He could hit you pretty good.
He did hit her pretty good.
Mm. Oh wow, he has one big arm and one small arm.
Oh my god, you are not even looking at the screen.
He must like. Ooh, that's a lot of humanity.
That was dark magic.
Okay, so he definitely must take part in arm wrestling competitions because, like, of the big arm. He's left-handed
That's your
too.
first conclusion?
Yeah, you know, like those people who do arm wrestling, like, you know, the jacked right arm and the scrawny left arm.
Jack is a word I might assume. Oh god. Sif, carry me.
Sif, use healing word.
Sif only knows cure wounds.
What a prick. Just not what you do.
They don't have a ranged heal.
That's quite unfortunate. Ooh.
So, is lava wet? I didn't really get an answer.
I said no because in order to be wet, you need to be not burning.
No, you said metal, but lava's not metal.
It's rock. It's
Rock.
earth.
Rock is yes.
Rock is yes.
Yes. Rock is molten rock is not water. And when you go into lava, you get
Wait,
hot.
I know. Let's talk about that's the take of the century. Molten rock is not water.
It's just facts. I know it's...
Are you sure? Wait, I'd like to see a graph that depicts
okay.
why molten
Here.
rock is not water.
The graph is just a circle that says yes in the middle.
Obviously, molten rock is yes, so molten that checks out.
There we go. I knew I brought this clipboard for a reason.
Is Molter Pock?
Okay, this here is a Venn diagram. There's a circle that says
I
molten
don't
rock.
think you thought this through, Charlie.
Circle that says water. Look,
I don't
there's
think
like
I
a
don't think they can see
there's
it,
like a
Charlie.
3-inch gap. There's like a 3-inch gap
Wait, let me see that.
between
It's
the
not 3
molten
inches.
rock and the water, something like that.
Let me
Maybe
see that.
less. There is no intersection between water and molten rock. None of the qualities are the same. The same, man.
Untrue. Possibly.
Fluid.
They may both be wet, or they may both be not wet.
Water's wet.
Water's wet.
Water
Alright.
is
What makes it wet?
because it's water.
But you can be wet without water.
Because there's
No.
being
You can be drenched in lube.
That has water in it generally.
Not necessarily,
because
Water.
you are being coated in a fluid.
right?
I guess you could argue that lava is wet.
I think
What is wet? It is wet, but I think wet specifically refers to water. Yeah.
I think so.
No.
I don't think you'd be wet from oil.
Yeah, you would.
You'd be oily.
Nah, you'd be oily, not wet.
It doesn't. Being wet does not specify that it's be water. It just
I don't
has to
know.
be-
I think it does. I think it does.
Unless it's like apple juice.
Yeah, I mean, apple juice has water in it.
What if
like,
you're
that's fine.
soaked in milk?
That is water in it.
Okay. What about LaCroix?
That is just water. That is literally just water.
What about-
that was like set next to some apples. Okay,
What about Dr. Pepper?
that is water.
Does it though?
Yes, I've read the ingredients list several thousand times.
So you're telling me that if I have a water-like substance,
Mm-hmm.
but its chemical makeup does not include dihydrogen monoxide,
Or just
it
any
cannot
other
make you
mixture.
wet?
Yes.
What does it make you then?
No, if it's oil, it makes you oily.
What if it's almost exactly the same properties and feel as water?
Is there a liquid like that?
At certain temperatures, perhaps.
But like commonly available so that it would fit into our lexicon.
How big is our
You're
lexicon?
like, what about like liquid methane? If you're
Yeah, but
Nah,
is liquid
that'd be
methane
really-
like
Wouldn't that be really
normally
cold?
occurring in nature?
yes.
Nah, I don't think you'd be wet. You'd just be like
What would you be?
drenched.
Drenched?
Drenched
Liquid
is like
methane.
drenched is like a what is liquid methane?
Liquid what?
It's
It's pretty
methane.
self-explanatory. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
but is it like something that is very available?
I don't
Like
think
where
so.
where would
Depends
you find it?
On like the moons of Jupiter.
Okay. Yeah, all right. That doesn't that's not something that fits into like our everyday language.
Yeah, it is.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
What do you mean liquid methane is not in our everyday language?
It is not something you
It's not
just
something you interact with day to day.
like. I think you'd die if you got into it. Like
Well,
that's a
yeah, but the word wet does not only apply to you, Charlie.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that what moon of Jupiter was it?
I don't know.
I wouldn't say the moon of Jupiter with liquid methane on it is wet,
yeah.
because wet is like specifically referring to water.
I think so.
So what does something have to be wet?
To be
water
in
it.
contact with water.
So like there's to be water on the surface.
There's to be water on the surface.
Okay. So wet just describes. So what if there's water in it, but not on the surface? Like
is there
a sponge that's dry on the outside.
No,
What? Then
I'd call that wet.
Oh, that's a good question.
Wait, humans aren't wet though. There's water in us, but we're dry on the outside. But I would.
I would
we're
describe
wet.
a human as being wet.
I'd call us water stuffed. Nah.
All right.
Moist.
You go ahead and tell that to people.
Humans are.
Oh my god, I forgot once again.
Humans are absolutely stuffed with water.
Oh, absolutely stuffed.
Book of the Guilty.
God, I just have to do one thing, guys. We're just talking about water. So, how can water be wet then?
Because if
Because it,
water
like,
is
well,
surrounded
then-
by water, it is wet.
So a single molecule of dihydrogen monoxide is not wet,
It is wet if it's surrounded by water.
but a single molecule.
Yes, it is not water. It is not wet.
I feel like you guys have made a definition to suit. I feel like being wet refers to the quality of having water or having like fluid, you know?
I think it specifically refers to water, but maybe it's not like water is on the surface, but I think it's like something about how water is interacting with you, but I think what is specifically referring to water itself.
So it would be
Just a fluid.
incorrect if I had a substance that you cannot tell the difference from water in it, right?
Okay, well, the thing about that is that discounts like how language works.
Wait,
Because
what?
if that existed in like everyday interactions with nature,
It'd just be
then
water.
there probably would be a language difference. But because it isn't there,
So let's say I'm in some chemical lab and I'm with my coworker and we're working on this substance.
okay,
right?
you're working on this substance.
Okay, it's a substance that's indistinguishable from water. Like in every way, it is just water, but it's not water.
Yeah, its
Then it's-
makeup is not the same as water.
I don't think the scientists would say
It's
What's
wet.
the difference
it's
then?
wet.
What if the scientist was describing something to their family member who was not very sciencey, and like,
It's like
so
water.
we get the the pH strip wet by dipping it in there.
You could say soak it in it.
Or
I
I'd
think
say,
something
I'd
could
say
be
more
soaked.
so you just use the pH strip by dipping it in the substance.
Yeah, I don't think
Not-
you need to say.
I don't-
So
I
when we
would-
put the pH strip
I don't
in
think
the
I've
substance,
ever. I don't think I've ever heard someone say, "Yeah, the pH strip is wet."
I think you'd say it's soaked with a liquid. Like I.
Are you
soak
saying
it
it's
into
not
this.
wet? What is it then?
Well, it is wet if you use it on water, but like
What if I dip it in like some like hydrochloric acid or
And it's
something?
not
you
wet.
you dipped it in hydrochloric acid.
So how would you describe it then? How would
I
you
dipped it in
indicate that it
I
has fluid on it?
This has hydrofluor. This has acid on
But
it.
do you ever need to indicate that it has fluid on it? You could have held it up and see the color and be like, "Look at that."
All right, then the word wet doesn't need to exist.
Oh, okay, to be honest,
Why not?
like I think if-
Your reasoning.
I suppose, but like a person physically like being wet might not be visually perceptible.
okay,
What?
no, I'm saying like for the strip, like I think you would say this is wet because if you just handed somebody a
I, wouldn't,
strip,
I don't think you'd
and
say
you said this is
soaked
wet,
either.
you would say this has acid on it. You would not say this is wet.
This is wet.
Like
Wet is like.
What is it then?
It,
it has acid.
Is
on
it dry?
No, it's
No.
not dry.
Then what is it?
I mean, I think dry is the lack of water. So I'd say it is dry.
So I guess it could.
So
you could say-
everything where there isn't water, even if it's some other fluid, is dry.
Yes.
So crude oil is like dry.
Yes. I mean, like think about in Alaska. Alaska
So-
is dry. There is like H2O there, but it is not water. It might have other liquids in it, but it is not water. Because
Sorry,
without
it has
water, it's
H2O,
dry.
but it's not water.
It's ice. I mean, it is
Water is specifically referring to the liquids form of
Okay.
H2O, right?
like something covered in ice and would not be wet. It needs to be the liquid form of H2O.
So, what would you use to describe that pH strip?
I don't
I
think
would
there's a
say
word
it's
for
covered
it.
with acid.
I think there straight up is not a word that I'm familiar with that describes that.
Like I don't think you'd say this is what acidy or like this is wet with acid. I don't think you'd do that. I think you'd say this is acid on it.
I guess you could say it's saturated.
It's
Saturated, yeah, that's probably a good word. I think. Well, I mean, not everything that exists has a word for it, so there might just not exist a word for that.
Yeah, like yeah, you wouldn't say that like a chicken strip that you deep fry that's real greasy is wet. You'd say this is saturated with oil, or this is like
It's greasy. It's greasy, or it's oily.
I guess you wouldn't say a chicken is wet. I guess you'd say it's moist, but that's different.
Moistened.
Does moist also refer
Alright,
to water?
but what if it has water in it and it feels oily?
Then it's wet and oily.
Wet and oily.
I mean, the oily part can't come from the water. That'd come from something else that makes it oily.
But if we're going by common definition, isn't it just it has to feel like water?
I mean, like, at that point you'd think it's water. So, like, you're saying it's wet because you think it's water.
Like the real state of
Is that what people are
reality.
indicating? They're indicating that it's dihydrogen monoxide, not that it's wet, as in it's like drenched in a water-like substance.
Okay,
Well,
what
but,
water-like substance
what
have you-
water-like substance is there that is like day-to-day life that you are not a scientist interacting with a water-like substance? Because it's a very like specific set of circumstances.
I don't know. I'm not a chemist.
Well, then, no. There's no situation where, like, you'd have this. You're like, oh, this is wet. And then you'd swirl it around.
And
And
be
it'd
like,
be like
ah,
water.
shit, that's not water.
That's not water. That's ooh-ah. God, I always mix those fuckers up.
Ooh-ah.
Ooh-ah, you know that liquid, that's exactly like water, but it's H3O. It's not wet, it's ooh-ah. I don't know. There's just no liquid that... Maybe there's, like, liquids that might look like water, but you won't ever find them in a real situation.
Because we have to acknowledge the fact that like our languages don't develop based on
Science.
Science or the actual
So-
state of reality. They
so people aren't-
develop based on how we use it.
So when people, before we understood, the periodic table and stuff, like something is wet, they're just describing the sensation or the status of being wet.
And that was
Yes,
generally
but that
water.
is like generally referring to water. Like what else in nature is in such a large quantity
if
that
there
you
was
could be covered
something-
in? But there isn't.
Well,
Our
I don't
language-
know. I don't have a
But our-
knowledge of all substances.
No, but our language developed in that world where it's not
If
like
I
I'm
find something and I
consistently-
time travel to ancient
Sure.
Rome, right, and I dip a cloth in it, and I'm like,
Sure, you
is
can
this
call
wet?
it wet
And they're like,
then.
yeah, it seems
It
wet to
probably
me.
would say it's wet.
You're like, if you fucking time travel,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
oil's fucking wet.
Yeah, if we bring
Not
time
oil. They know what
travel-
oil is. I'm
Okay,
saying-
find some ooh and then travel back in time, dip it, give it to Aristotle, and say, bitch, this be wet.
Aristotle, is this wet?
Then it's fucking wet. Like, the entire history will be completely changed. Aristotle will have written...
I think Aristotle has
Benji.
encountered wet things before I time traveled.
Yes,
to give
but
him a
not wet
cloth.
things that weren't water. I mean, like, what fucking thing was wet that wasn't water in, like, the year whatever the fuck Aristotle lived? I mean, oil. You'd say that's oily. I mean...
Or you
Being, feeling oily
Okay,
is
there's
very
more
fucking
liquids
wet.
than water and oil.
Okay, what other liquids? Tomato juice. Okay.
Liquid
water.
methane.
Liquid.
You would not
What?
find
That's,
that.
that's
You would
on
not
Jupiter's
fucking find
moon.
that.
It exists.
I'm
It
talking
does,
about
but it's
something
not
you'd
something
find
that
in a
it's
real
not something that
situation, like-
that would be interacted with during the development of language.
Like, something you'd interact with on a daily basis that you
or,
don't need to go
or
to
has
some
been interacted
laboratory and
enough
find.
to affect
Look,
how language develops.
Words adapt, right?
Yes, they do adapt, but like as of now, liquid methane is still not something that it would be like widely
If-
available or widely known about.
Like, when's
so until like I'd say what 60-70% of the population started to refer to wet as more than just water and refer to that as also liquid methane, wet would still not refer to anything other than water.
Have you conducted a census that 60 to 70% of the population doesn't?
Dude, I bet someone has. People do random ass. I bet it's like the University of North Carolina or some shit.
I mean, maybe this is like the whole like, oh, it's only
The
water
UNC.
that's only water that makes something wet is not correct, but like I think that's like how it's generally perceived. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone bet don't do it. If you do it, I know you're just like doing it what I'm about to say. Like, I've never seen anyone use the term wet to describe themselves as being saturated with something that wasn't water. I mean, someone can, but until like it's just
Well,
common
juice.
use. Juice is just water. It just has other shit in it too.
So,
So if it's
how much, what concentration of it needs to be water?
well,
I
I
don't-
think the vast majority of juice, like actual like fresh from the apple bush, is the vast majority of that substance is water, right? With like bits of the apple in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you would call yourself wet if like 5% of it is water, because at that point it's mostly just like the solid gelatinous mass of
You
like,
just be covered in actual apple.
Yeah.
Like you'd be encased in an apple.
Is the inside of an apple wet?
No, yeah, I suppose.
Sure, if you're somebody...
Because
So
it
if
does
you're covered in the inside of an apple, are you wet?
I mean, eventually you'd probably get some of the moisture inside onto you.
But it's
yeah.
not the apple that's making you wet, it's the water that's making you wet. I mean, that's just because I'm sexually attracted to water, but, you know.
You guys are geocentric
How so?
and periodic extremists.
It's true.
What is a... Okay, I'm aware of geocentrism, but what do you mean by periodic?
We hate the periodic
You are too
table.
focused on the periodic elemental composition of the substance.
Yes.
I guess.
Okay, there's no other liquid that does not have H2O that acts exactly like water,
Or
that
not-
feels like
not even
water,
similar?
that we would not, that
Well,
we would
like-
normally encounter.
Like, it's about how language develops and how it's used, not about the
Like the
actual state
physical
of reality.
properties.
So if it's used to describe something that is wet.
Yes.
Which is water. In
Which
terms
is
it is used
generally
for the
water.
water. Like I don't,
Generally
Yeah.
water.
I've never.
Generally or 100%
Well,
of the
okay,
time.
what would
100%
you
water.
would you say someone covered in oil is wet? Like, would you personally like say they're covered in oil and be like they're wet?
If I didn't like touch it and I'm looking at something dripping and it's saturated in a liquid, I'd say that I would think it was wet.
Because
Okay.
you think it's water.
No, just because it's dripping.
Yeah, they're dripping. They're not wet.
No, they are dripping because they are wet.
But
But,
you
like,
said like
water-
unless
water-
you said if you don't feel like it, you'd say if you don't touch it, you'd think they're wet. Meaning that the moment you realize it's oil, they'd no longer
If,
be
if
wet.
you knew they were covered in oil, would you say they are wet?
Well, it'd probably depend on the kind of oil.
What kind of oil would you like? Is there a kind of oil where if you saw a person covered in it or knew they were covered in it, you would say they are wet?
Anything like not too viscous.
Gasoline. Gasoline looks a lot like water. Just
It does.
If you were drenched in gasoline,
Like-
would you say you're wet? No, I'd say you're drenched.
Functionally,
You're
the
soaked in
there's-
gas.
Covered in gasoline.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like if you are like you've like your hands are covered in blood. Your hands aren't wet. They're covered in blood.
but they're also wet.
I mean, yeah.
guess.
I'd say you're wet if you're covered in blood. I mean, blood is mostly water.
Maybe.
See, that's the weird thing. What if people didn't know that?
Okay.
Does that mean we only accepted blood as being something that could make you wet once we knew it had water in it?
I wouldn't. I still wouldn't say that
Yeah.
your blood. Dude, this is a fucking inane conversation that's gone on for 20 minutes.
It's solid, right?
It's more interesting than
Quality
your
content.
fucking slide conversation.
Dude, that was a very good conversation about
I'm always
slides.
concerned about slides.
If you're not concerned about slides, get
Professor
the fuck out.
Wuhork.
Look, Professor Wuhork understands slides.
Does he though?
He does.
Did we talk about slides? Yeah, we talked
Yes,
about.
we did, and we did talk about slides.
Yeah, talked about slides.
Yeah, man, slides. Am I right?
Am I right, fellow kids?
My cues.
Wow.
Wow. In fact, wow. Uh huh. So here's a solid question. Anyone feel free to answer whether or not you think it needs to be water to be wet?
Why don't you just look up the definition on like a
Yeah.
dictionary?
I'm not gonna spend this stream looking up definitions in the dictionary.
Oh, but you'll spend it on your phone.
Yeah, I will. I'll do it now.
I'll do it too.
Why did you bring a book?
Because I brought it out at like 7, and then ended up doing stuff for like 15 minutes. I was like, oh, okay. I thought we'd have a bit more leeway, and I was like, I'll read a little bit of this book.
A little bit of this book.
I'm not gonna read it during the stream.
If you were covered in book pages, would you be wet?
What about book paste?
Book paste. I think it turns into paste due to the water.
All right. So
All right, you guys brought it back.
no. Are you familiar with like the like I'm not at all. I'm just curious. Like, do you know anything about the process of making paper?
Yes.
Please, can you enlighten me?
Okay, right. So.
You get a bunch of wood pulp.
Yep.
Okay.
Then you have these floating water things, and then you kind of layer it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Bleach it to make it white.
Cut off the edges.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been thinking about paper a lot recently.
You know, let it dry out.
Man, you should know more about the stuff you eat, Max.
What paper is the most flavorful? Like, is there a brand you say, that's some fine paper?
Paper that is wet
Well, that's not, yeah.
with oil.
With oil? Oh, God. It's not wet then, it's oily.
Well, then again, I guess some people would say like wet that with acid.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
Yeah.
What?
Like not acid specifically, but like wet that with oil. Yeah, I guess you could
Wet
say
that with oil?
Yeah. Like you wet your tongue.
Like wet that pH strip.
I've never
with
heard wet
acid.
your tongue with oil.
No. Okay.
Wet your tongue is-
Charlie, you haven't heard anything because you don't listen to anybody because you're too busy being a Gen Alpha boomer.
Wow.
What is a Gen Alpha boomer?
Okay,
It's a
fine.
Zoomer,
Switching it
but
up.
I want to turn it against him despite us also being the Zoomers. Just look up the definition of wet. He always does this. He'll look it up, and if he's wrong, he'll just kind of like quietly not say anything. And if he's right, when he finds it by checking every single link until he finds the one where he's right.
Scroll to the top. What's the definition of wet?
Go to Merriam-Webster.
Okay.
I guess definition does not need to be water.
What does it say?
Definition of wet. Consisting of or containing. Wait. Consisting of, containing, covered with, or soaked with a liquid, such as water.
Okay.
Of natural gas, containing appreciable quantities of readily condensable hydrocarbons.
Such as gasoline,
Okay.
Rainy, wet weather.
butane,
Still moist to smudge or smear.
propane,
A wet driver. A
methane,
wet country. A wet candidate. What?
hydrocarbons.
A wet candidate is an example they use for this. Like a wet. Okay.
Might be a bit different. Might be like a
Yeah.
Like the governor.
Okay,
What? Have you summoned Sif?
I think.
Okay, by definition, you're right. It does not need to be water to be wet. However, I feel that if most people use the term wet, I would think they're talking about water.
That sounds like a you problem.
I think many people would think they're talking about water.
Well, I get, but like definition-wise, which is kind of what we were arguing. He's not wrong.
That's true. I mean, like,
Sif, why do you do this?
Wolf.
wolf. Do you think Sif is wet?
You're a fucking furry.
I mean, like, he's shooting out like a bunch of shit, you know?
I'm not seeing the same thing you're seeing, Charlie.
Wait, are you like hallucinating?
Look at that shit. Like,
I don't see anything shooting out of Sif.
not out of Sif, out of Manus.
Sif.
Like what?
You're asking if Sif is
There.
wet?
I mean, like, Sif is getting covered in that shit.
I don't know if I'd describe it as shooting.
It looks more like shadows.
Wafting away.
Shadows incarnate.
I guess. Like, yeah, I think you're right.
Steam. Smog.
Smoke.
This isn't going very well.
What about mist?
Mist. That's a good term. Okay.
M-I-S-T. The mist missed me.
The mist missed me. Very cool.
The misty.
The misty misty on the misty day.
Okay, you're just reusing words now.
No, I used different
I said
words.
the misty.
That's true.
Those are all different
Okay,
words.
technically, misty and mist are different words.
Yes, but you said misty twice.
Misty,
you said
misty the person and misty the verb.
Oh, I thought
Misty is,
no,
sorry, the
you
adjective.
said the misty mist
Misted.
on the misty day.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you used
Shit,
misty
there's a
twice.
holiday I've
I-
never heard.
What?
Misty Day?
What's that holiday about?
It's about Misty. on Pokemon.
Is there actually a holiday?
Why do we
about
talk
Steve?
about the 100% of like 95% of Pokemon conversations happen on the
That's true.
sofa on Saturdays between like 7 whatever and
Oh,
like
there goes my
11.
clipboard.
Oh no.
Oh no, what are we gonna do without my clipboard?
I guess we'll need to get a board clip.
Oh, board clip? Those are pretty sick, man. It keeps your clipboard clipped to the board.
I love them.
They're pretty solid.
You got bumped.
You did get bumped.
They're gonna bump you again.
They're gonna big bump you.
Look at that. Look at that Sif.
Oh yeah, Sif over
I think we do more damage per hit than Sif.
That's too bad.
Sif, baby.
Oh baby Sif.
Alright.
Yeah. What alright?
Alright.
Alright, what?
Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077.
Fully not an insane.
Now, what a natural.
What a natural transition to a topic we definitely didn't plan to talk about.
Okay. I mean, would people be like, you didn't plan to talk about it when we're like looking
Yeah.
at notebooks and
Yes.
I've got all my notes here. I carry around my Cyberpunk 2077
Why are you
notes.
guys taking notes?
We gotta get accurate things. It was announced in 2012. Pre-production started in 2016.
Wait,
Pre-production started in 2016 after, I think it was like during the final cycle of
Witcher. Yeah.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
They get the
And then-
last DLC, then the team was like, let's make this weird game called Cyberpunk.
But then the actual production started after Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine.
Yep.
It's a Polish company.
Dude, teaser dropped in 2013.
It was announced in 2012. It's been but I didn't start working on it till a lot later. What do you guys? I haven't seen the trailers for it in a while. I remember it being pretty visually impressive. I mean, it's been winning visual awards since 2018 when it was announced. Finally announced in 2018 E3.
I mean, the big thing is
Like
is
fully
what they talked
confirmed.
about for so long. I mean, since when it was first announced or talked about in 2012.
Well, it was announced in 2012, but the hype didn't appear until 2018.
Yeah, but
2018 was because it was confirmed in 2018. And I'm pretty sure 2018 was also where Keanu Reeves appeared.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
in
what,
in
John
part,
Silverhand?
John Silverhand. And in part, Keanu Reeves. I think Keanu Reeves is part of what created the staying power of 2077, or at least let it
this
propagate
is a
first.
disease in the game industry. It's hype fanboys, not to gender the term, but fan people. Look, people who get really excited for a game without any hard proof, despite this industry having a lot of letdowns.
You're not wrong. I mean, people seem to be really excited about this game. I mean, there are I think one reason that people are excited is probably that it's the same company that did The Witcher 3, which, as far as I'm aware, is pretty popular.
Yeah, I mean,
acclaimed.
Yeah, Witcher 3 was really good, so it's just a good game in general.
But yeah, no, they got the Polish government gave them money, $7 million worth. The game. You would probably know more about this term than me. The term I've got is subventions.
Honestly, never fucking heard of it, but I assume it's what the government does. Where they're like, "Damn, let's keep industries here. We'll give you money."
I briefly looked it up, and that's what it seemed like. The publisher company is CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. I mean, they did Witcher, which I haven't actually played. It's kind of terrible. Not the game. I just haven't gotten to it because.
So The Witcher 3.
So when you say it's good,
yeah,
that's just what you
It
heard.
is completely secondhand knowledge.
So The Witcher 3 is as far as I'm aware, is an open world game.
It's very story based. You got Geralt of Rivia.
Geralt.
Also
I
played.
thought Geralt was a fish.
What?
So, okay, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a GTA style game.
What do you mean a GTA, like in a city and open world?
Yes. There's cars and you can fuck prostitutes. It's a GTA style game.
So,
It's just a bunch of stuff in a world. There's been stuff. I've heard that the campaign got shortened. I've heard that it's been, there's been delays and stuff because they just tried to make a big ass game. And what we really all want for sure is a really big game with a bunch of mini games.
Do people want that?
Yeah, I love.
think so.
I love an Ubisoft sandbox game.
give me Assassin's Creed 23.
Like, I love it when, like...
We need... Some games have been doing this, like Doom and stuff, where they go back to old school. It's linear, it's a level, it's designed for you. It's designed. Very carefully crafted. Maybe games such as this one, some people like that. So Cyberpunk 2077, I don't care. Oh man, you can do all this. You can text on your phone. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in GTA 5, the phone thing was nice in the sense that what it enabled you could like call a car or something, or a taxi.
In one of the Pokemon games, you like your little sat nav. You can go.
Yeah. So
Sat nav is a navigation device. Sat nav.
I mean,
So-
like, the scale of it seems to be pretty big. They, like, for the campaign, they had 3... Because there's, like, 3 main classes, and there's also 3 starting. You could start as basically rich,
three
middle...
main classes.
You could start as either rich, like, middle class, or like...
Oh, like
no, you could start as...
money classes.
Yeah, like, you could start
Like
as...
class in
like,
society.
Well, there's, like, physical combat play styles, and then there's also origins. There's 3 origins you could choose from. You have the upper class, which is, like, rich as fuck. Then you have the Outlander. I forgot what it's called, where basically you're, like, from outside
You
the
have
city.
like a page of notes.
I don't have that on. I just memorized this. Then you also have the second one, which is basically just somebody on the streets, like somebody from the streets. So like depending
a hooligan.
sure, hooligans. So whichever one you choose, like completely changes what happens in the game and how
Completely changes. Completely.
That I'm really scared when
This
when
is going to be okay.
I'm very scared when a game says that like your choices completely change the game.
Well, they didn't actually say completely, but it's supposed to change a lot of what happens in the world and how it changes. Like it's a huge
Yeah, a lot of
fucking
games,
skill game.
your choices make the difference.
I don't know. Have you played
Is-
Skyrim?
Do your choices make the difference?
No.
Isn't there, like,
Not really.
and
It's hard to make a game like even games that are like specifically around that, like Until Dawn. Like there are some bad ends to that, but well, I guess like that game is specifically built for your choices to make a difference.
I mean,
yeah, there are games. Visual novels can be like that, but they don't have to be. Even visual novels, there are some that, like, there's just one path. Like, what's wrong with that?
I mean, yeah, there's been this kind of trend going on where every fucking game needs to be
Open world. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I like going on open world itself. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, great game, like fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Like, there's an argument to be made that like they don't need to cater to fans. But like from what I've gathered, like it's very well accepted, but or maybe this is just me personally. It's very well accepted, but it's not exactly what people are looking for when they think
Zelda
like
game?
Breath of the Wild or they think Legend of Zelda. But that's not to take like there's still a lot of like Legend of Zelda features in the game, so it's very good, very polished. But it is open world, which in part made it very popular.
Well, from what I get, like, I haven't actually played it, but from the reviews I got, it was a good game in general. Like, maybe not a good Zelda game.
I
but,
don't.
Like, it was a curative
Yeah, I don't
game.
think. It seemed kind of like they were like, oh, let's try this,
Yeah.
But a lot of. I don't think Breath of the Wild is the sandbox that's the offender here. You know.
No,
Yeah, I feel like-
I think like even Breath of the Wild is a very like enclosed experience. No matter how large it is, which in part is, it's very very.
It's
I'd
very,
say
very,
nigh
very,
impossible to make a game that like is
God,
open
Cade.
open world enough to where people will be like, man, I can really do whatever I want, but then succinct enough to where people
Well,
say,
okay, there's a fundamental thing here. If you can do whatever you want, you can't be directed.
yeah. And so, but like a game is like a packaged experience.
Like, people really like the idea of open world, being able to do what you want, having the choices you do, and have the choices you do matter. You kind of think of it in D&D. Everyone kind of claims that having a truly open world that you would explore is huge, fucking amazing, it's fun. But like, if
But
you need to have something to do, there needs to be a plot going on, there needs to be a story which like drives you towards places. Otherwise,
speaking as a DM, like, or I guess you are also a DM. When people go completely off the beaten path, which has not happened in this campaign, which is nice, and they go completely off the beaten path, it's like, well, I haven't developed this as much. Cool. And now the experience for them will probably be lesser because of it. Which is not, like, I guess you could say at times that is the fault of the DM, or the fault of the creator, that their main story isn't interesting enough. But it's difficult. Like, the whole open world idea is limited in a lot of ways.
like some do it
It's
well.
easier to mass produce in a sense. It's less. If you look at like Far Cry games, it's like Far Cry 3. I think had an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
It had 2 endings, I think.
Did it?
Yeah, but and then you look at all the Far Cries and it's like kind of by Far Cry 3 they kind of developed this formula, the Ubisoft sandbox formula, you know, and it's go get up the tower, open the map, get the collectibles, and then
Yeah.
you know the Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG, but like
I think it can be good. Like the parts that like really make an open world game is that the world itself needs to feel like a world and not just random things not connected. Like with Skyrim's a pretty good example of a good open world. Like you,
the
the
Skyrim
moment
was
you get out of-
impressive at the time, but if someone released that now,
I mean, not skill wise, but how big it is in comparison and how everything comes together. I mean, the moment you leave Riverwood, you're going down the trail, then you see these Imperials taking the Stormcloak soldier.
Well, there's
you
like-
haven't
there's
had
like-
much experience with it, but like then everything just connects. Like you
Well,
can find
there's-
Cicero, and then
There's
later
like a
connect to the
fallacy
Dark
there.
Brotherhood.
There's a fallacy there in saying like a good open world is where everything's connected, whereas a true like in reality open world, not everything's connected. Like a realistic world where people like with people and like how reality is, not everything's connected.
How are things? Okay, look, you don't have like an individual situation. You'll like say somebody, oh yeah, this thing exists, then you'll find it. I mean, things are connected. You might not see the connections, but like
Right.
things
Well,
aren't
okay.
just
So what do you mean by
disjoint events.
connected? I guess that might be my
I
confusion.
don't mean everything is connected to everything and leading you somewhere, but there's hints of other parts of the world going on. Everything feels like
let's not talk about games that we might have a nostalgia factor, and let's talk about like say Assassin's Creed, right?
Assassin's Creed.
I
Okay.
can't
I haven't played
Okay,
Assassin's Creed.
what open world games have you guys played?
I've
Skyrim.
only played Breath of the Wild. I've played no other.
I
don't play
understand now
games.
that I've been subjected to much more harm.
I don't play many games.
I've played too many sandbox
I've
games.
tried sandbox games, but I've dropped them. Like I
But
did.
we gotta go say Just Cause 2 grapple hook
Oh yeah.
makes it all the more fun
Yeah,
for
but-
about 30 minutes, and then you get really bored.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that game
Well, I've
suffers
done
from
Just
a
Cause
lot.
3. I don't mind Just Cause 3, but it's kind of boring. The world's so like meh. There's just things.
Didn't you buy Just Cause 3?
I own Just Cause 3. I
Yeah.
played it before.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess that's an open
It is nothing. Oops.
Whoopsie daisies.
Like, the problem with that one is that like everything is just disconnected. Nothing feels like. It doesn't feel like a real world. I mean,
It's a sandbox. You just
Yeah.
play around in it.
So, but it's like, do we think that,
what we're talking about, open world or sandbox?
yeah, so is 27/7 gonna be like a
Open world
Skyrim
sandbox
style?
usually kind of come hand in hand.
But is it 27/7 gonna be like a Skyrim style or like a Just Cause style?
It's going to be a GTA style.
Like GTA.
It's good.
From what I hear, it's like a combination of like Call of Duty, Watch Dogs, GTA, and like just a bunch of different things.
Call of Duty, Watch Dogs,
is
GTA.
not a name I want to hear associated
Well,
with it.
Watch Dogs just due to the hacking, like the futuristic kind of feel. GTA because it's a city, and then apparently there's just some like classic FPS gun and shoot kind of parts of the game with like.
Is it in first person?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like GTA, which has a first person mode.
GTA is like generally in third person mode, right?
It has first person mode. People play like that.
Well, I think for the gun and shoot, I think Call of Duty is a better example.
I don't think so.
It,
Call of Duty is an arena shooter.
It's true, but
If you want to pull like
I have not played GTA either. So.
we're not. I'm coming to the realization we're not great at talking about games, or at least I'm not because I've played a lot.
I have not played a lot of open. Played lots of Skyrim.
I've played an ungodly amount of Skyrim.
I have not played an ungodly amount of Skyrim.
How much Skyrim have you played?
Probably 700 hours total. That's not an ungodly amount of Skyrim.
That's a lot of
it's
Skyrim.
like an intense summer's break worth of hours.
Look, man, Mr. 600 hours in a summer? For that one
I
game?
thought it was like 400.
That was a lot of hours. But,
Well, then again, I've got 500 hours in CS:GO, so who am I to talk?
yeah,
That's a fun game, though.
it's true.
Would you say it's like CS:GO? If it's like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It has a gun and you shoot in first person.
from what
Well,
I get,
I guess-
there are,
I guess-
like, leveled missions that kind of have a college, from what I understand.
I
there's, like,
guess it
leveled
makes sense with the
missions.
more like modern Call of Duty with like all the parkour and stuff and like running along
You're
walls
talking
and that shit.
Call of Duty campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are linear levels.
No, I think there are some linear aspects. Like, part of the world, it can't put you in a linear situation.
Okay.
All right, here let's talk about a fact that I really hate. Not to hate on Cyberpunk 2077, but I gotta hate on everything, man. I'm fighting Calamite with a stick.
Dude, I hate that part of Cyberpunk.
So-
When he fights
77.
Calamite.
Absolutely terrible. They give you the spoon and the like.
Okay, first of all,
like
you
Calamite.
can pay sex workers and then watch like a vanilla, not quite M-rated, sorry, not quite R-rated cutscene of that.
Okay.
Seems like, I guess the world is more expanded that way. It's kind of like the strip club stuff in GTA 5, like
It exists.
there's a lot of. Oh, I've lost my train of thought looking
Are
at
you talking
Calamite.
about like putting things in for the sake of them being there and being like, oh yeah, we've got this?
I had a completely different point, and then
Then Calamite said, I'm gonna try to eat you now. Ooh, nice stand.
Rock.
you say nice, but that went very poorly, Charlie.
It's just how things go sometimes.
I can't wait to like have to get in a car. I say this like I'm gonna buy the game without it seeing if it's good first. I can't wait to have to get in a car and drive through half a city to get to where the mission starts, you know? That was always great in GTA. I love that. I did not love that part of GTA, man. I like driving in the game, but it's like a commute in a game.
Yeah. I mean, how dense is the game? Like, is it like...
I don't know, I haven't played it. Are you talking about
I mean,
GTA 5?
GTA.
It's pretty record setting. I mean, GTA 5 came out, it was in like what, the first day it grossed more than any movie had in its entire existence ever.
I mean, dense. Like,
It's a Rockstar game. It's I don't know what you mean by dense. Like
in-game material, does everything feel flushed out? Like, are there... You can just go into shops and then there's just stuff in all the buildings?
Yes.
Like, do any of the buildings just seem like there to be there, or does everything just feel like
You
could
cannot go into every single building, and I guarantee you that's the case in Cyberpunk 2077.
That would make sense. Like,
You can, like, go into the clothing store and try out some clothes. You know, you can go into the auto shop, put some car mods on there. You can go to the gun store.
I've been hearing open world with Cyberpunk 2077, and that like really sounds off to me because I don't quite understand what Cyberpunk 2077 is going for as a game.
I don't know, but there's a lot of hype.
Like I can't quite figure out what kind of game it is.
It's a GTA type game. There's a city, and you do stuff. Sometimes crime.
Yeah, what's the city called? Mega City?
is that what it's called?
I believe it happens in some sort of apocalyptic scenario. So
it's called Mega City, and it's in the free state of North California.
Yes.
There are gang wars. There's a huge reliance on robotics. Cosmetic addiction is a thing.
Ooh.
And citizens are allowed to openly carry firearms
Wow.
in Mega City. Can we talk about the name Mega City?
I just imagine Megamind like rising up from the middle with like his droids.
You know, it was probably
around
like
him.
I could see that being probably a remnant of the original material.
Which probably is called Mega City.
No, the original material is called Cyberpunk.
No, I mean like the city in.
Yeah,
the original
I
Cyberpunk.
assume it was probably called Mega City in that. Created by Mike Pondsmith.
Wow. What is he, a prick?
Okay, well, that's an actual person. Don't just be like, oh, wow.
Was it a book first, or was it a game?
I believe it was like a tabletop, like RPG
That's sick.
sort of thing, with like different quests you could do or whatever. I think.
oh, I remember now what I wanted to say.
Oh,
There's a phone and you can get notifications. And I was listening to someone who had played, a reviewer. They were like, yeah, you know, I didn't open my phone for a while because I was in the middle of a mission. And then I had like 40 notifications. I'm, oh, great. Just what I want in my video game. Having to go through 40 notifications on my fucking phone.
Yeah, that sounds not. That sounds kind of annoying.
no, that was in the review copy of 2077, or like an alpha version.
That was an IGN interview.
I would not be like. That doesn't sound exciting. I get pissed when I have like 7 notifications on my phone. I open it up, I see them, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, there is a what do you call it? Like your rating, your standing with people can be affected by what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in good graces with someone, they might rely on you more.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
like a dynamic involvement. In other words, if you earn enough invisible points, you know, you'll get a mission from them.
it feels like that occurs in a lot of games.
It does.
I don't think that's like intrinsically flawed.
Yeah, but
I
then
know,
you
I
end up
think
in a
it's like
situation where I want this unique thing you get from this mission. Oh, I need to get in this person's good graces.
And so
I'm going to buy them 500 cheese graters for their new kitchen that I bought, you know? That kind of stuff. Like,
I kind of thought about this, like the scale they're kind of doing it for. It seems unrealistic to like see all the content. To be honest, if it's true to what they say, like
yeah.
I don't know. Can you just
So,
expect to not? Is it okay to go through games where you just can't see all the content because of choices you make? I mean, if they do to get to that scale, doesn't that just then mean
I mean-
everyone can have their own kind of more individualistic experience with the game?
there's an argument to be made for replayability, but if it's anything like GTA, the issue is not content, it's repetitiveness that makes you want to stop playing.
Do the same
You
thing
know,
over and over and over.
Because you look at a game like, say, Dark Souls. Here I am, fighting Calamity. I've beaten this before, but now, because I want to die, I guess, I'm doing it with the stick, right? So that's a case of replayability despite having tried basically all the
I
time.
don't know if GTA is a game to say no replayability. I mean, that thing's
No.
still fucking
All right,
popular.
What I'm saying is,
So-
I stopped playing it not because I ran out of content, but because I got tired of the gameplay.
All right. Well, so we're starting this week. We're going to in the middle of our streams take a 10-minute break, and we've hit that time in
Intermission?
our stream, so we're gonna we'll
still-
still be around, but we're just gonna be in another room.
We're gonna throw up a pretty cool intermission thing.
The intermission thing is just
Hit the button. It worked.
our faces aren't.
Yeah, you have to re-add the webcam every time.
Whatever. We'll just leave it like this. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
This is fine. I will also be back.
All right, Benji, you're in charge now.
Benji, you gotta entertain them.
I think you were always in charge though.
Entertain them. Do your best. Now recap the story of
Just leave.
Calamite the Wise.
Oh
He
boy.
had so much power, but he could not use it to save himself. Only the ones he loved. Not a tale, man.
No one. Oh, he's back. Oh yeah. Whatever. No one was surprised when I was right. I'm always right. GTA 5 is still played, but a lot of it's around the racing now. Granted, it's not an RPG the way Cyberpunk aims to be, but if you're in an open world type sandbox city, there's going to be a lot of parallels. Fallout, I don't remember Fallout 4. Fallout the Caveman, no, the one that was in Tibet. I played that for an hour and a half, and then I realized it was just kind of the same stuff. You go up the tower, drive the car around. Sometimes there's a new gadget, but other open world games. I hate to break it to Charlie, but Skyrim suffers from, you know, kind of, you know, there's only like 20 voice actors, so it's kind of like the same-ish stuff. It's really cool when you haven't played a lot of games, but the more you play, the more you want a simple game. It all comes back to linear. You know? It's almost like once you've had your freedom, once you've tried a bunch of open world games, you realize that you just want a straightforward linear game.
I mean,
It's my turn to leave.
I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, linear games are good, but I don't know. I think lots of people still play open world games. I mean, I think GTA Online is still one of the most played games right now, right? It still has a lot of people going back to it. I mean, or personal preference.
I don't know.
You don't know about GTA Online.
I do not. One day, we'll get Calamite and Manus.
Monday.
What would you define a gamer as? Well, I wouldn't just say someone who plays video games, right?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I think it depends on like how casual you take the game. Like, a casual person who plays games is not a gamer. I think like
No, you have to accept that moms playing Candy Crush, they're gamers.
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't even call someone who like plays Switch a lot, like I don't know, like Animal Crossing every once in a while, a gamer.
Why?
I don't know. Just when I think of gamer, I generally think of like a tryhard, somebody who like not someone who plays video games, but like a certain.
So what would you call someone who plays video games?
I guess a video gamer. I don't know. I mean, I think there's just a weird connotation around gamer.
I know what you mean. Like, capital G gamer, right?
Game
I think we're
fuel.
talking about like capital G gamer.
Born
not
and
lowercase.
bred in the fiery pits of modern warfare lobbies and toxic communities and such, and grinding and all that. In that
Basically.
sense, I am unfortunately kind of a capital G gamer.
You are a very large capital G gamer.
My Steam level is highest on this couch, I think.
Yeah, I'm like level 10, I think. I don't know how you actually increase in Steam level.
I think you just have to own games and complete stuff. I don't know. I've seen.
It seems easy though to play a lot of games on Steam and not rise very high in Steam level.
Well, you gotta complete the little badges that you get for playing the games. You get like badges.
The achievements.
Yeah. I don't know. I've gotten all the achievements in Dark Souls, but not Dark Souls 3. Anyways. What are some games you've played recently
I
that
assume we're
you
talking
that you
about
were
video
like
games.
yeah, that you're like, that's good.
Like a good game.
Stuff you discovered, let's say in the past, like, I don't know, recent past, like stuff. Oh, yeah, this guy's got the same mask.
I mean, I haven't played that much recently.
All right, let's talk about sandbox games that are good.
Skyrim.
Breath of the Wild.
But those had issues, no?
They do have issues.
So let's talk about truly good sandbox games.
I do
such
think
as,
it's a truly good sandbox game.
it's good, but it still suffers from the things sandbox games suffer from, where when you have random encounters, stuff it can have, like, you know, like Skyrim, not known for not having glitches.
It's part of the appeal.
It's a
I mean,
feature.
I'm not it's literally
a
part of the appeal.
It's Todd Howard, folks. He's here.
Okay,
Okay.
What game doesn't have bugs?
No. I'm talking about games that really take advantage of being a sandbox. Here's one. Minecraft.
Okay, I think we need to make a distinction between sandbox and open world. I know they are used commonly, but I do think they're different.
Well, you can hold items up and do stuff in Skyrim. It's not an infinite sandbox. It is, okay, that's open world.
I would not call it a sandbox though. Like I'd call it.
Yeah,
GT.
the true sandbox games,
Is
like,
Fortnite a sandbox game?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I've never played it, so I can't comment.
I think part of sandbox is like placing items and building stuff. Like I think
such as in Skyrim when you build your house.
But no, I do not consider Skyrim.
And Breath of the Wild when you build your house.
So
it's very specific item placement.
But true sandboxes like Minecraft or shout out to From the Depths. Gary's mod is its own unique beast.
Gary's mod is wonderful
It is a sandbox, though.
and terrifying.
It's kind of like a platform for other stuff too.
You can call Minecraft that too.
Not necessarily.
Servers, I mean,
Gar-
there's so
well,
many
Gary's mod-
fucking mini games and stuff that encompasses large amounts. Like an entire
Yeah,
server
but
is
Minecraft
dedicated
has
to
its
Pokemon.
own thing. It has its own game mode. In Gary's mod, it is a sandbox, but it's just a sandbox. It's not an open world game
No.
at the same time. Open world games, sandboxes from the depths of Minecraft. Both games I enjoy. From the Depths I like a lot, but it's very tuned to me. It's very like, you know, if you're an engineer, you should try it.
Never played that one either.
Terraria is very fun.
It's missing dimensional axis though to be truly open. I'm gatekeeping you. No, but yeah, Terraria and the other one that's like so it's Starbound. I haven't played those in a long time. But other games.
Stardew Valley?
No, Starbound. Starbound, is that what it's called?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
Terraria, kind of. I don't remember.
Because I was gonna say Stardew Valley is not really open world.
Farmville?
What is it?
But-
Baking Tycoon?
Oh, Baking
All the
Tycoon,
other
best sandbox.
games that I've played, and I'm like, now this is it. As a capital G gamer, I declare this to be a good game. Have all been sort of like linear games, you know?
Okay, what's sandbox linear game? Like,
Not sandbox.
just linear game?
Sort of linear, not like open world. You know, not being open world doesn't mean it's a hallway and that's it, right? Like
I mean, I feel like
Dark Souls 1 is not open world in the sense that
I'd say it's pretty open world. I mean,
In the
anything
sense
you
that
could
it's
see,
like-
you could go there. Like,
there's like a bunch of random encounters and stuff. There's placed enemies. There's no like random spawning stuff, right? Everything is it's a big level in a sense.
I'd call that open world. I mean, maybe not to the
I-
scale as other games, but
I don't know.
consider
If,
Dark
I
Souls
don't.
open world.
I don't think Dark Souls is an open world.
It's a world you just explore.
But
that's
it's
open.
not random. There's no random like
But or does open world require randomness?
I mean, I don't think all open worlds use random generated encounters.
open world. Okay, when I say open world, the whole issue with open worlds is that quantity is taking over quality, right?
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
Like, would you call Demon Souls open world?
Oh, much less than Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is very like there's a path and you go down it.
So,
it's
would
more
you
linear.
call Dark Souls 3 open world?
No.
Maybe I think it's closer to closer to 1 than Demon Souls. I think if you went through all the Dark Souls, I think probably if you go through all the Dark Souls, it gets more linear as time goes on.
Yeah, I think so.
Dark Souls 2 is
Dark Souls is not linear for sure, but it is essentially a big level or a bunch of levels that are interconnected, right? And
I think 2 loses some, like, gets more linear, and then 3 gets more linear.
I think there's a relationship between player and developer. Or sometimes they play with your expectation, right? Like where they put enemies, what they do. I recently played Doom, the 2016 one. That was a lot of fun. It was a very single-player, linear experience that was just tailored to be fun. It was refreshing.
Like, yeah, I mean, I do think that games don't need to be open world to be fun, but I don't think that, like, being an open world makes it a bad game. Like, well, Skyrim, like, sure, it is... can be repetitive at times. I mean, people like that. I mean, people still play
Alright,
lots of hours for it. Tons of hours for it. I mean, there's so much to it, the modding community. I think part of the open... it's a different gameplay experience that's just, like...
Skyrim
people
isn't
prefer.
for me.
Yeah, it's just, like, a different...
Alright, let's...
Kind of game
Skyrim's
style.
kind of like...
but I can
What
acknowledge
do you mean
that.
Sky? Why can't we talk about Sky?
No, we can talk about Skyrim.
Well,
But I can.
you might be biased.
You're biased to Dark Souls, like severely.
I played Skyrim 2 as a kid, and for me it was amazing. But I feel like if Skyrim didn't have Bethesda name and just was a game that came out, I wouldn't really feel like playing it today.
No,
No.
I mean I wouldn't play vanilla Skyrim. It does get, but that's what I'm saying. Like part of the game is the community that like
Kind of.
continues it.
Not really. The game itself is like what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about like all the like the aspect of like the community.
I don't think you could take that out of it. I mean, like,
Yeah, you can because
think
like no, because the game itself is what we're talking about. We're talking about as an open world game is 2077.
When I
really good.
bought Skyrim for the PS3, there was no modding.
Like Skyrim is across so many platforms that like just the fact that the PC players have the modding capabilities does not change the intrinsic like essence of the game.
most have modding capabilities now.
Most have modding capability. Jeez, I'm behind the times.
Well, sort of.
You
There's some
download
mods
mods.
available on like the Xbox One and stuff.
But like I think you can take that out of that.
I don't
'Cause-
think so.
Well, because then like
Well-
I could make arguments for like that, like
I mean,
content that is created outside of a game that is like referential of that game is a part of it because that's part of the community. Like you're changing the experience of Skyrim to be better or more fun.
Not every game lets you do that. Like some games do let you.
Right, but
have
like
some, but like how integrated it is into it and how available it is.
Yeah, but
to mod it and how what's available to the modding community, I think makes it part of the game. Like it's not. It's just a completely different game if the modding community is not able to mod. Like that's
I mean
just
you
part
can
of Skyrim.
you can yes, but you can also mod like the Dark Souls games, like heavily.
That's true, but I don't think it's as
There-
prevalent
there's-
to the extent that it is in Skyrim.
when
No, it's not.
when I was a kid and I bought my copy of Skyrim, that's what I got and that's what I played and I enjoyed it. But look, let's not. I think we're missing the point here. Skyrim is not the game I'm talking about when I say open world games and like stuff. What I'm talking about, like, it's like I don't know how many Assassin's Creeds you guys have played with. Like,
I'm familiar.
the amount I've played was like one's enough, you know. It's like they added.
You mean just like random stuff.
My dad was
it's-
into it.
It's cool because you can like go around the city and like hide in the crowds and climb the rooftops. So having the city out there, it's like a parkour thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they add these missions where you have to follow the guy, but not be seen by him. But if you for 5 seconds are outside a certain radius, you have to go back to the checkpoint, right? It's like mission fail. That's not fun. No one likes that.
That sounds fun to me.
So
You just try playing it, Max. Try playing Assassin's Creed.
Okay, I'll do it. Let's do it on stream. I'll play Assassin's Creed.
yeah, I don't know. That's not a very great open world.
That kind of stuff.
I mean, for Cyberpunk 2077, I do think it's going to be better based off like The Witcher. The Witcher seems to be a more plot-driven story in an open world. Like I think it's going to be more of a plot in the world. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be as
I don't know
open.
if The Witcher, but The Witcher was the third game in the series.
Witcher 3.
It's true. I mean,
Wild Hunt.
but it's the same studio, so I think they'll be able to like integrate the parts that made that a good game into
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
It is the same studio. I would hope that like they could put out something that I haven't played either. But
I don't think it will be bad, but I think it has suffered from delays. The campaign may have been shortened. There,
I think it'll be a game. It'll be a game.
It's not going to be a game, not at all. Nope.
It'll be a game that people play. I know it'll have some mild popularity. I don't think we're gonna see. I mean, maybe we could see another Skyrim, but I highly doubt it.
what do you mean by another Skyrim?
I like the cultural phenomenon that is Skyrim.
What about GTA 5?
GTA 5, like
That sold more copies.
it did, but it wasn't like as like ubiquitous as Skyrim.
I don't know. That might just be your bubble.
It might be my bubble. I wouldn't be surprised. Then again, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
GTA
not a capital G gamer. That
GTA
without a
5
doubt.
had multiplayer without mods, and was like,
I mean, like Skyrim, GTA is prolonged a lot from both the multiplayer but also the modding community.
Yeah, they both have very prevalent modding communities.
Yeah, I'd say like Skyrim, the modding community is not just something you could take away from GTA. Like the
Okay.
moment you take it away, it's a different game.
okay, thank you.
I'm not a gamer.
Not a gamer.
The more this conversation has gone on, the more I've realized I'm not a gamer. Like at all.
Wow, do you even play
Or-
Overwatch?
I don't
Such
play
a good
Overwatch.
open world game.
I like practically these days only play League of Legends and some Switch games. I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
Well, I think you could take your hours in League, and if I could list you like 30 games that I've played and maybe completed, and have opinions on, and it fits into that amount of hours.
Oh, probably without a doubt.
So it's more like a distribution. You
You're
know?
not wrong.
Yeah.
Played a lot of League. Too much League. I think I'm over 1,000 hours.
Jesus. Yeah,
So are you.
on League,
Yeah, you're pretty damn close.
I do not have over 1,000 hours
You're
on League.
pretty
I'm not
close.
near 1,000 hours on League.
You can't amass 1,000 hours in the span of a couple months, even if you play like Charlie was.
No. I think he had something like 400. Or
I did
something.
not even have 400. I had less than 100.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, I'm thinking of someone else.
God, if I had 1,000 hours in
I didn't
you
say
saw,
you had
saw how
1,000
I
hours.
played From the Depths, and that was over the course of like 5 months,
Yeah.
and that was 700 hours.
You
that
scared me. There were some days I was
So
scared.
for him to be near 1,000 in like less than half that time,
That's true.
That's like 24/7. Jesus.
Yeah. That's something you would do with Overwatch, though.
No.
Yeah.
I have like 500 hours total in Overwatch.
Exactly.
That's over like since Overwatch was released.
Exactly.
Okay.
I win.
You just okay. Anyway, what do y'all think about the $70 video game?
Like the price in general of like how expensive games are.
They're going up to $70 for.
it's about time. It's been 60 for a long time.
Yeah, it's been 60 since like 2000.
I mean,
I think it's been 60
you
since like
guys
the
are
90s.
used. You guys
Yeah.
are used to. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, like
the first
like cartridge games.
They were first set at 90 by Nintendo.
Okay, it's gone.
Sorry,
down.
they were set at 60 by Nintendo, and then eventually they decreased a bit. And then in like 2003 or something, Microsoft set it to like doing the $60 game, and cartridges went a bit down. Like they were like what $35 games for a
So
while
it
for
started at
cartridges.
60.
Yeah, it wasn't super popular then, but then they started at 60, some even more expensive. Then they went back down to 60 after like discs got made.
Where's the Izalith Titanite demon?
It's an Islith.
I do find it funny though. Everyone's getting fucking pissed off about games going up to 70, but like,
I mean, isn't
Yes.
like inflation like 3% a year or something like that?
Yes. Also, yeah, is inflation. Also, I feel like people are just a little too domestic. Like, my copy of Dark Souls 2 I paid for in Ringgit in Malaysia. So I don't remember how much I paid, but how much I paid equivalent to dollars has probably changed.
mhm.
You know, because of inflation rates. Games are all. There is a set price when you buy a new game, but it's different in different places. I remember my friends in Australia being like, "Man, it's like $80 and $90." I'm like, "What? Oh, it's Australian dollars."
It's kind of crazy too, because like games originally, like AAA games in 2005, cost like $25 to $35 million to make. And nowadays, they could cost anywhere between 75 to like 150 million to make. The same price of the game. Inflation, like the 25 to 35, would go up to around like 25 to like 35-ish million, and 45 to maybe.
Oh, we have to go the back way, huh?
But games have been going up in price in real terms, and like the price have stayed the same. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's
well,
right.
the amount of people paying, also microtransactions.
That's true.
Like, well, gaming in general has gotten much bigger as time's gone on.
That's true.
It was not like this big 10 years ago.
But like as it's also gone on, like people have just such high expectations for games, like bigger and bigger scale games.
Well, I think
Everyone got so pissed off when
I think-
Miles
I think-
Morales Spider-Man was shorter.
I think part of that is that like companies keep hyping themselves up and being like, "Oh, the next one's gonna be bigger and better." Todd Howard, that it like creates this like building expectation. It's like, oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so amazing. It's like it's just gonna be another. It's gonna be another game. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be more advanced.
This is gonna undo my divorce and give me my kidney back.
It's gonna make QAnon's prophecy true.
But like even games that are small, like Miles Morales, which was like 8 to 12 hours of gameplay, and it was cheaper, it's $50, but everyone got mad because it wasn't as big as like the other Spider-Man games.
It hasn't been that long since they made that game, though, right? It was 2016, yeah.
Which Miles Morales was released this year.
The newer Spider-Man one, which
Yeah,
is
like
longer.
4
It's
years ago?
2016, yeah. That's not a super long development cycle for how advanced those games are. And I'm sure the studio or the company was doing other stuff during that time, not just the Miles Morales game.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, I feel like people, if they want, there should be more space in the gaming community for like games that are, they can be cheaper, but games that are both on smaller scale.
I think that's a flaw. I don't know. I guess there are people who think that way. When I buy a game, there is the amount of time, but there's also the quality of time and replayability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a lot of the time it's like, I think there's like nowadays it feels like there's two types of games that are like appreciated by the general public.
AAA.
Like the AAA big box games, right? And then like the indie, which like it's becoming less and less like indie. It's becoming more and more like just small companies, right?
Yeah.
You know, but like the Super Meat Boy, Shovel Knight, you know, that sort of stuff. Like that was very
Yeah,
popular,
very niche,
very
yeah.
big. It feels like those are the two things, and anything in between kind of gets forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, I think people just expect such big games. If a company that generally pushes AAA games once a year developed a shorter, like, still quality game that told a specific story, but in like shorter game hours, I think.
Do you think like the like gaming like community and like atmosphere has suffered from the same thing that like the movie atmosphere has with like Marvel movies, where it's like it's not bad technically, but it's not anything amazing.
Yes.
And there's just so much of it that it's like you're gonna see them regardless and be like, oh, it's a movie.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, yeah.
And then sometimes you'll go to like same with the games. Like sometimes you'll get a game, or sometimes you'll see a movie, and I'll be like, that was good. Like that was just good, you know. And it wasn't like oh, that's a movie, you know.
There's definitely a lot of mediocre games. But I think there's like a mediocre TV and like.
There's a lot of
everything.
mediocre everything.
books. I
Oh
don't
my
think it's
gosh.
I don't think it's just something in.
Books.
I don't think it's just gaming or movies. I think that's
No,
just a lot of mediocre
I was just comparing it to movies because there's a similar thing there. Like, it's very easy to, if you're a big company, to pump out simple stuff that'll
Call
sell
of Duty.
that will sell well, that is going to be popular. It's not technically bad, you know. Oh my gosh, look at that man's
Look at that
outfit!
Moonlight
Holy
Greatsword.
shit! You know, it's very easy. Whereas like stuff like this, like stuff like I don't know. I'm not a gamer, but, you know, like it takes.
You want some like tight game experiences?
Hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? I was a little focused on chickens.
I
I think it means quality game experience.
I think quality is like,
That's what I mean by tight.
yeah, it like quality is like super, at least to me.
How about the Half-Life games?
I've never played the Half-Life games.
How about
Night 2?
too many of the games
Night
I've
for
played
the
are open world?
Dreamcast?
I liked Tomb Raider. I mean, it wasn't the greatest game. I think it was funner, like better than average.
Yeah, that was kind of levelish though, which like the cool parts were like the levels, like when you fall in the cave
Yeah, that was fun.
But that's all like non-open world stuff.
That's true. I mean, like, yeah, they weren't open world. I mean, they had the exploration kind of thing, but I think it was closer to a Dark Souls kind of feel in exploration. How to get places, you need to go down this path. However, there's multiple ways to get there. Less is more linear than Dark Souls, but it kind of had a similar. You have to
go again.
walk to get there.
This one's the hardest Titanite demon because you can just fall off.
Here we come.
Bonjour, madame. That's illegal.
He bumped you.
He did, in fact, bump you. That's a stupid pause. But
What's a stupid boss?
pause. Never mind. But
Oh my gosh.
you guys heard about Netflix's new price increase?
I have not. They're increasing the price?
Yeah, I find it funny. Everyone's like, they're super cheap in the beginning to streaming services, but it seems to be going down to the route that they're just getting more and more expensive.
Well, that's what happens when
The demand is high.
They'll basically just become the price of like cable, which I find hilarious.
people are reliant on it.
That's true. I don't think it'll get as high as it. I think there's more competition for like the streaming industry than there is for like cable. I feel like cable's very local monopoly kind of thing going on.
Local. What about Storage Wars? Yeah.
Does Storage Wars have its own cable company?
No,
I don't think so.
but it's a fun show. It's really. Sometimes it's stupid though.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I guess TV shows are facing the same kind of shit that video games are, like just random ass dumb TV shows that shouldn't exist. Like what the whole trope of Netflix, if you write a script, they'll give you money for it. You just say the word A for 24 minutes?
Hey.
It's a good show.
Hey.
Is episode 2 the letter B?
I'm
Wow,
sitting
we're
in a
going to the
room.
health-
And I'm recording this.
The budget for the show is $2 million. That's why I'm recording with this iPhone 5C. God. Yeah, I wonder what the price of Elden Ring is going to be.
Probably 70 if like the general price is going up.
I think so. I know some games are going to be 60. Like some of the, in order to like sell more consoles, they're making some of the bigger games still be 60. Like,
Yeah, but Elden Ring is a FromSoft game. It's anticipated. It's got what George R.R. Martin working on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for them to not make it 70.
well, the reason why they make it 60 is to get them to buy the new console.
Yeah, but it like PS5's already out.
Yeah, but like you
No,
release
and-
it with it, then say, hey, the game's 60 if you buy the console.
I
like,
think Demon Souls was the system seller.
yeah, Demon Souls was $60, I believe.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring's
No,
gonna be.
Demon Souls was 70. My bad.
I don't know. Demons like Elden Ring might be 70 or 60.
Mm.
I think it's likely to be 70.
It's probably going to be 70. Demon Souls was 70. There's no reason for.
They don't have to worry about not selling copies.
I mean, I'm not talking about selling copies of the game itself.
No, I
I'm
know
saying
you're talking
using
about.
it
You're
as a
not talking
term
about
to get
selling devices. I don't
Yeah.
think they have a relationship with Sony.
They do. I mean, it's going on the device. I
But
mean,
it's going to go on other devices as well.
Including PC.
yeah.
So like they don't have like a relationship specifically with Sony or specifically with Microsoft.
Yeah, but they're able to change their own prices depending on what formats it's in. Like, you could have a different price for an Xbox game versus a
You
PS5
can.
game.
But
So, like,
I
it's
think
possible for,
at
like-
release it'll probably be 70 across all platforms.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to say that, like, it is possible for it to be cheaper in order to, like, undercut Xbox or something.
Yeah,
I don't think
like
it'll
moves
happen.
like that you got to be careful about business wise because then they're just going to end up in a like undercut war.
Yep. So you tick for tack. Just everyone.
I think it's tit for tat. Tick for tack is something that makes your breath nice.
No, you talk tick for tack, man. It's the
I
new
want,
term.
I want some Tic Tacs
Yeah, but
so I can chuck them at people.
no.
Okay, would you chuck a Tic Tac or would you like what would you do? Like because chuck like has like a connotation of it being something large, right? Like chuck a rock.
You could definitely chuck a packet of Tic Tacs or something.
I think chuck just kind of refers to it can't be a fastball. It's like a
I see.
kind of like a lob.
Yeah.
Is that crystal lizard?
No.
Well, I see. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Got him.
Nice. You got
Very
some red
useful.
titanite chunks. It's pretty sexy. Oh god. Spiders?
No. Ah, it's our boy.
Who's that? Oh. Solaire, no! What happened to you?
He's hollow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. That's so sad. I guess he didn't find the sun.
I know he did. It's on his head.
What?
It's on his head. He found the sun.
Okay. The sun crown or some shit?
It's the goopy larva.
The goopy larva crown?
Yeah.
Aww.
No, is he hollow or is he just insane?
That's what being hollow is.
Yeah, but like I don't remember any other hollows talking.
What's the... Not Chester, the guy in the asylum you could go back to and then fight him? Does he talk?
Like when you find him again, no. I don't
No?
think so.
Hmm.
Is he the only hollow that speaks?
I guess. Solaire.
Well, there's the
Well,
I guess all the lords are hollow.
don't speak.
don't speak.
There's the guy in Sen's Fortress, the merchant, across the broken walkway. He's like about to go hollow, but
But he's not hollow yet.
I see. That's where that door leads.
oh yeah.
Baby, a triple.
Maybe a triple.
Thank you, Max. That made me so happy.
Look, you've just been repeating that phrase ever since Max said it at some point.
Yeah, I know, I can't stop.
And I've been dropping that phrase occasionally for a long time because when I was a kid, there are these things called montage parodies, and I watched some of them. And one of the sound bites is the
Baby, a
triple.
triple.
Wow.
I have seen those as
Wow.
well.
Wow.
Wow.
Air horns and Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Did
What?
you just blend S to Snoop Dogg?
I did.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah.
Blend W. What a solid video.
Yeah, what's my favorite anime opening?
God, I wish it was just an anime like Snoop Dogg.
I don't wish that.
I do.
I don't need that in my life.
Look, man, it'd
The
be
most I can deal with is Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's joint cookbook.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. We should try. I kind of want to get it.
You could.
Ooh.
Skunk.
Skunk. I wanna. Oh. God no. I bet Snoop Dogg was in an anime. I could see him, just in some random ass thing.
Probably.
Do you think Titanites?
There's a lot of mediocre anime and random stuff happens.
Do you think Titanite's conductive? I think it, right? Because there's like it's got like electricity.
It would depend on what it's alloyed with.
But like the demon itself is conductive, yeah.
It's like it.
I don't know.
I don't think it's
I
on
mean,
the periodic
you
table.
can't just like shoot like a straight lightning bolt. That's not how it works. So it could just be not actually electricity.
But like,
Something that is some sort of magic that.
Faith power.
I mean, if they have electricity, where's their iPhones? You know.
yeah, man. Where's their iPhones? Where's their
Why
AirPods?
can't I follow? Oh God, Guinevere and Gwendolyn on.
Twitter?
I was gonna say Instagram.
Oh yeah.
How about wouldn't you follow them on Tumblr? Would you join their
Twitter
their
would be
blogs?
something that like Framped would be on. You know.
And Koth.
Yeah.
They'd be on Twitter.
They'd
and
argue on Twitter.
Yeah. Beat each other's like other comments arguing.
One student smaller, bro. I don't know.
I think Gwen's on Facebook.
I feel like Smo's on
Yes.
4chan and like Ornstein's probably.
Ornstein's on Reddit.
Yeah.
No. Ornstein
He's too.
is too pure. You know, Ornstein's on like Game Facts or something. He's like on some forum.
He's on like the metalworking forum.
Yeah, I imagine him being like an expert contributor to like Quora.
He helps people on Tom's Hardware with their PC. No, the person Lautrec would be the one on Reddit
Lautrec.
because he's gold.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Then let's see. I think.
Oh, you got...
Oh yeah. It's gonna be green today.
oh yeah.
It's gonna be green today. The day.
All right. Last Titanite demons taken care of.
The last.
The things we need to do are Manus, Calamite, and the Bridge Wyvern.
Time for Bridge Wyvern.
What, just doing Calamite last?
No, we haven't defeated Manus yet.
Oh god. I think have we spent more time on Manus and either of them than the first just the Asylum Demon?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we've done hour chunks of just fighting them. I mean, we did what, 2.5 two.
Well, no, we've done like the past couple streams. We fought them, and then we've wandered off to take care of other stuff.
That's true.
And now we can't do that.
I feel
Yeah,
like
we can.
There's literally nothing other than.
No, I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, we're going to the Bridge Wyvern.
Yeah.
Watch out for its instant kill.
Oh god. This is gonna be the next like 15 streams, just like solid like
No,
over
don't
and
worry.
over again.
I'll take the time out of Dead Week to perfect, because I can do the Manus fight, and I definitely can do the Calamite fight under, being alone conditions.
Yeah.
So I just gotta get better at them.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the catalyst that's. I think we would have beaten them by now if we were using
Yeah, Manus
build.
likes to jump away because there's like that delay with the catalyst. It's really.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh yes, I forget. The falling is not much of a thing in this game.
That's Demon Souls we're thinking of.
Oh god, yeah, you could fall from so far in that game.
But if you fall like a foot over where it's like, oh, you're completely fine, you're gonna take a little damage, you immediately die.
It's just how it be. I gotta watch a TED Talk this week. Do you guys want to make a TED Talk so I can watch it?
I'll make a TED Talk on the flying buttress.
Oh my god. Should we make Gothic architecture our thing for next
You
week?
laugh, but you're just making a boring presentation.
Let's make a PowerPoint. We're not even gonna play Dark Souls.
PowerPoint.
Just make a little
Gothic
PowerPoint about
architecture.
Gothic
No pictures, all text.
Yeah, on text. We will now be
It's like actually
describing-
pictures of like book pages.
Yeah. We will now be describing fluted colonnades. This is the Doric topper. This is the Corinthian topper.
Is it Ionic?
Yep. Ionic's the scroll, right? Then Corinthian's the flower, then Doric's the boring ass one.
I think it's called Ionic.
Ionic, yep.
Ionic?
Something like that.
Ironic.
Ironic that we forgot it. Because it is.
Bubonic.
My bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague.
Hell's Helm.
Alright.
Orange charred ring. Red
Do we
t-shirt
have-
ring.
The one for fire damage?
No. The flame.
Got spiky knees.
Are you at the point where like most of the stats that we want are at least not maxed out, but at the point where we want them to be?
It could be higher.
Maybe farming is the move.
Maybe.
You know what? I know how to farm.
Like,
Now, what's the best endgame farm though? Silver, covetous, ring. Silver, covetous, ring. Do we have it? Silver, covetous, ring.
you want me to find out how to get it?
Sure. Why can I never remember the location of that ring?
Okay.
Isn't it in Sens?
No, that's the gold one. The one past the broken boulder thing.
The Tomb of Giants. Where we first met Patches and close to the eventual path to the boss area. The ring can be reached by jumping down from the corpse next to
Oh yeah! I remember.
Do.
Okay, we're just gonna make a quick stop.
You know, this is giving me flashbacks to the stream of, I hope we're not here that long.
I hope we're not here that long. Gosh.
Oops, this is the catacombs.
Sorry, man.
Tomb of the Giants.
Tomb of the Goyans.
Have you ever met Tom?
Cruise?
Tom the Giant?
Yeah.
Is Tom the Giant Tom Cruise the Scientologist?
Yeah. Okay, Max, you might know what this book is. It's a book. It's about this giant.
If it's the one by whatever Hubble that started Scientology,
It's not.
I don't.
Okay, so
L. Ron Hubble.
L. Ron Haroya whatever it was. Haroya Bembe.
Yes.
Harambe, the
Harambe.
founder of Scientology.
Harambe did found
But
Scientology. Okay,
yeah,
a
the
book.
book. So it's about this giant, and the giant has these jars, and he collects dreams in the jars, I think. And then there's a kid in an orphanage who befriends his giant at night, and then takes the kid. It's like a kid's book, and I like thought of it, but I couldn't fucking remember what it's called. It's like, does that ring any bells to you?
No.
Is it perhaps related? I don't know.
It's not a dream. It's a real book.
No, but is it a dream in a book?
No. Wait.
There's some giant related dream in Ender's Game I vaguely remember. You read that?
Yeah. It's not about Ender's Game.
Well,
It's not even Ender's Game. Not only is it not about Ender's Game, it is also not Ender's Game.
Why can't you roll through a standing skeleton?
Because they stand too good.
check this move out.
Oh, you got it. Solid. Oh. So where do we get them souls?
Clams.
Clams? I think we should go clams. I agree.
I don't know. Where's a good farm?
Here. Do you wanna? Shall we consult the vast internet or just go for it?
I'm thinking maybe you wanna. I think because of our weird weapon.
Yeah.
Let's try the forest first.
Sure.
Man, we can warp to the undead parish.
That's some cool straight up facts that most people don't know.
Did you know you can warp to the undead parish?
I did not.
And also, did you know you can't parry dogs?
Wait, say that again.
You cannot parry dogs.
Like, wow, what a fact.
Yeah, I know, right? Unbelievable.
Wow. Here,
I believed
me-
for many years that you could parry dogs.
let me write this down. You can't parry dogs. No, I know.
Your S is really small.
That's saying no. It says either dog or dogs.
Is that a T?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was dogts. Dogs.
Oh, that's an exclamation mark.
No. Before the S.
This is
Your
G.
G is ugly.
Well, I also use my pen like this while writing.
Yeah, but like,
Look, I was not doing this for people to read.
You showed me it. Therefore, you're doing
Fine,
it for people
stream.
to read.
You can't read it from here, but it says
You can't.
you can't parry dogs. Now you know. If you try it and you die, you can't blame us because we told you and showed something you can't read that says you can't
cannot parry dogs.
You cannot, in fact,
Yeah.
parry dogs.
All right.
Can you eat dogs though?
I mean, if you really want to.
Isn't that the beginning to a song?
Eating dogs, or if you really want to.
Yeah.
Is-
Let me think. It goes like da 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 da, something like that.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. You can really eat all dogs.
It's just a dude just going ham. Like,
What is that?
Devouring
It's
a dog
it's
raw.
a
He's
pop-
just like grabbed one off the street.
it's a
like a
really
pop
big guy,
song.
and he's eating tiny wiener dogs
I swear
like
to
it's a
God,
hot
Max-
dog eating competition.
Look, Max showed me this video too.
I showed you
I
this.
feel like it's animated. It's like a parody of a song.
Don't do this, plant.
Did you pay your taxes this year? Is that a no?
Right
I don't
here.
have
right
any
now.
taxes.
I put the author out. Was it that one? No, you see it.
No, it's
you
like-
run with me, and I can set you.
No.
free.
What does that have to do with eating dogs?
I don't know.
It doesn't have to do with eating dogs, the song. You can stand if you want to, something like that. It's like a British singer.
I
It's
can
pop.
just kill all these guys.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. You can leave your friends behind.
That's it.
And I didn't show you that.
So friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
What does that have to do with eating dogs?
I don't. Look, man. I don't know. It's just what I thought of.
All right,
You can dance if you want
you've
to.
collected
Oh.
them all.
I figured it out.
We can eat dogs if we want to.
You can
Okay,
eat-
okay. I was thinking of it from Critical Role.
They don't
Somebody's-
eat. They don't eat.
If you don't eat dogs, then you're no friend of mine.
It has nothing to do with the dogs. I just thought of the song because they reference it in the episode of Critical Role I listened to today. They're like, you can dance if you want to. Then it doesn't matter.
Can you eat dogs if you want to, though?
If you really want to, I
Oh.
guess. Oh my god, just run at them till they fall off. It's the strategy.
There's one.
Ooh, he's got some nice souls. Did he kick you and fall over himself?
Yes.
God. Wild gamers, I'll be right back.
There was an intermission for a reason.
I just drank like 2 water bottles, okay? All in one go, including the... I can't open the door.
Turn the handle. Turn the.
He turned the handle, folks.
I didn't think I'd see it today, but someone was able to turn the handle. That golden shield's really gaudy.
It can heal you,
Sanctus.
but you need 18 faith.
You dogs if you want to.
What is the... This is like an early game farm.
And big range. Good damage and big range. I don't know if we meet those requirements.
I'm back.
Why are you back?
Fine, I'll leave. I'm coming inside and sitting down. That is leaving. What's up? We're looking for the best place.
You can eat dogs if you want to. You leave your friends behind. And it's dun 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 dun.
Let's see. Best place for endgame farming.
Tomb of the Giant.
Doom of the Giant. Let's see. What's soy?
Soy Max.
Soy Max.
Shit. Soy Max. Sì. Come ti chiami? Come tu chiami?
Do you have the symbol of avarice?
No, we're not yet. No.
No.
Is this?
They recommend the painted world of.
Yeah. Fine. Welcome to hell, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you afraid of the painted world? Are you afraid of painted general?
The painted general.
The painted general. I think there's lots of those.
Is that the general you go to save some time?
If you want to dance. And if you want to. Ooh, a double stab. Sexy. That's a weird chain. What do you think it was used for?
Chain.
Oh, kill all of them. Come on, I want to see it.
If you got like a pyromancy, it can be cool.
You're like just a little bit. You're so close to being able to one-shot them.
Alright, I'll level up my intelligence then.
What the fuck? I do not like these things at all.
I like them. They're goopy.
They are goopy.
Hey, you got a spear. How's it feel?
Oh god.
Nice.
They look like bagpipes.
Oh yeah.
I guess they do look like bagpipes.
I mean, can you argue with me that they look like bagpipes?
Can you argue with me?
I agreed. I do not wish to argue about the fact that they look like
Are you
bagpipes.
physically able to argue?
Yes. I
No,
can
has that-
No, I can't physically argue. It's impossible. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, you're an elf.
God, I'm
you're
an elf.
boy.
Look, man, everyone just uses zone of truth on me, and I have to tell the truth.
Elves can't argue, obviously.
Yes, because they have long ears. So
Like
Benji,
you're an elf.
my eyebrows are eyebrow-like.
Mm-hmm. You're either an elf or a were-owl.
I prefer the term wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Mask of the Father.
Mmm.
Brass leggings.
Brass leggings. Some say they're made of brass.
Is that full Havels?
Is that full fucking Havel armor?
Have you ever had full Havels, Charlie?
Yeah,
So,
I have.
I doubt it. I doubt you've ever had full Havels.
Sure. You just go to Anne Orlando, and then there's that secret door, then it leads to them chests.
What's in the chests?
Havel's armor.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's actually filled with topazes.
Topazes, you say?
Like in the book series Del Torah, the first book where they get the topaz.
Spoiler.
Sorry, all I can fucking think about is Magi Quest from Great Wolf Lodge now. Why would you bring up Topaz?
Oh.
You found the Crystal Ruby!
Crystal Ruby is not topaz.
Well, one of them, you gotta find all these gems, and one of them is the purple crystal, and one
Is
of them
topaz
is
a
topaz.
gem?
The topaz is like golden.
You gotta find topaz. And they're like, where's the topaz? And they're like, here's the topaz.
Yeah, you know where the topaz is. Can you tell me where the topaz is?
I think it's, I don't know, probably like the 3rd floor or something by like, it's on the one above the arcade.
Is it protected by a goblin?
I don't know, there's not really goblins in Magic Quest. Usually just like moms who yell at you for, being a 20-year-old man running through Great Wolf Lodge without any kid and a wand. No, you're just there, sometimes you go to the water park and try to get into the kids section. You're like, I'm a big kid too.
I'm a big boy.
Then they just get mad at you because, like, look, man, I want to jump across the lily pads. There shouldn't be an age restriction.
Is there an age restriction for the lily pads?
No, there's not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah,
Because if there was, that'd be bunk.
that would be bunk.
The lily pads are a fucking blast.
Those are a blast.
I love the lily pads.
You could act superior by using your big boy legs to just walk across it.
No one can stop you.
Yeah, you really emanate superiority when you refer to your own legs as big boy legs.
I got big boy
I
legs.
got big boy legs. What you gonna do, lifeguard? Catch me? You can't. I got big boy legs.
And if you do, I'll kick you in the head.
Kick you in the
with my
head,
big boy legs.
Oh, I have my wand. I didn't leave it in my room. I brought it to the water park. I'll cast a Vada Kedavra on you. Stay back, man.
I'm gonna wave my wand at you and defeat you like I beat the dragon.
Oh my god, man. Do you even remember all the symbols to get the dragon?
No, but I do remember my first encounter with someone wearing just like empty frame glasses and how much disdain I felt.
That's fair.
One time, I was hanging out with this guy.
Yeah.
It was just the two of us for some reason. This was back when I lived in Japan. They were like, oh yeah, that new girl in our class, we're gonna hang out now. And so then she brought two of her friends. And I was like, okay. And then we went to the Purikuda, whatever. Which is like the photo booth that makes everyone look very, feminine.
Dude, Snapchat.
And then we went around to a bunch of stores, and I just remember that's where I first tried them on, and I'm like, this is kind of weird.
Sorry, Trey.
Who would wear
That was
glasses?
before I wore glasses, so
Who would wear glasses?
How old were you?
13, 14.
When did you?
That's right, Charlie. I did hang out with girls when I was in middle school.
I did too.
When did you need to get glasses?
I got them in like 9th grade, but I didn't start wearing them till like 10th or 11th.
I needed them. Gosh, I think I started wearing mine sophomore year of high school.
I've needed reading glasses since like elementary school.
No, being unable to read cannot be fixed by wearing reading glasses, Charlie.
It's called being illiterate.
Look, man, my intelligence is like 4. I don't have the prereqs to read.
Don't you need like intelligence of 6 to read?
Yeah, I think so. It'd be kind of fun though to play like a really intelligent person like in D&D, but you still can't read. Like you're just like a lot of shit.
Illiterate.
Nah, you just be yeah. Like you know a bunch of words and like you just can't read. I mean it'd be stupid. It'd be kind of funny though.
I can't read.
Yeah.
Can't read. In a literal sense.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I can't read.
Yeah.
Can't read.
Yeah.
Can't read.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get those words away from me. I can't read. Yeah, that I can't do. Here I am. I'm telling the truth. When I see words, I get a headache. Sir, it ain't so great. I get a book, long, 13 chapters. I take a glimpse at it, and I'm filled with laughter. This is a wrap, and I'm gonna stop because, trust me, I don't have a rhyme to end it.
Word. Good job, everybody.
That was very
We've
solid.
created art. Should we upload that to SoundCloud?
I already did.
You know that Snow Halation Goofy song?
Sorry.
Snow halation.
So apparently that's not a new song, and there's been like weird covers of it. I found a Soldier Boy Superman
Oh my god.
mashup.
Soldier Boy. All I think is Soldier Boy is Little Soldier Boy, but I don't think he wrote Little Soldier Boy.
I don't know, Little Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Little soldier boy.
You know, the Christmas classic.
What? Little soldier boy. What's that?
It's a Christmas song.
What
It's
about?
like, da 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 da.
All right.
That's Drummer Boy.
Drummer Boy. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, I can understand the conflation of the two.
I mean, like drummers. I generally imagine
For
drummers.
some reason, we used to send our snare drummers into battle.
It's true.
Maybe
on the
they
front
possessed
lines.
awesome power of
Yeah.
some kind.
I like they just like fucking like full on like the drums.
If you've ever seen anyone on YouTube really good at that taiko rhythm game, I'd believe it.
Yeah, they just hit it once.
Because
and,
I'm
like,
playing, I'm like,
shockwave
I'm a
fires
drummer. I'm
and
like,
fires
yeah,
them.
yeah. And then I just watch someone like perfect, like that insane stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I am not.
they have the power.
They do, in fact, have the power.
I have the power.
Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats! Ho! And that's how I met your mother.
All right, top 3 Christmas songs go.
Little Drummer Boy. It's pretty good. That's all. That's it.
You ever hear of Bob Rivers' Christmas?
No.
It's just a guy who does comedy songs. There's just one. I forget what it goes to, because like I forget the actual songs, but there's one about Pokemon and it's pretty solid. And he does other stuff too. One.
What about Christmas movies? I like Die Hard.
I have a Die Hard coloring book.
I like.
If we wanna.
I actually haven't
I like
seen
the
Die
one
Hard all the
with
way through.
Wait. Stop. Repeat what you just said.
I haven't seen Die Hard like from start to finish. Like I walked into the room 30 minutes after it started, I think.
We're watching
and then I
Die
just kinda
Hard
saw the
before
rest
we
of
all
it.
go home.
I've never seen Die Hard.
It's a Christmas movie.
How have you not seen Die Hard?
Look, have you seen like Predator
Yes.
and like True Lies and just like every like action movie from
But
the
it's
80s?
Die
Everyone's
Hard!
missing at least one.
Okay. You were both watching Die Hard before we go home.
Okay. Why?
Cause you have
Have
to.
you seen The Matrix?
Yes.
No.
Alright, I called that one first. I stated we gotta watch The Matrix before.
It's Christmas.
Yes.
Matrix is a Christmas movie.
Yes, it is.
We're.
I have seen
watching
Inception now though. It took me like a while.
We can watch both, but we are at least watching Die Hard before Christmas goes over. Even if that means watching Matrix and then Die Hard in one night, I don't care.
We're not doing that.
Yes, we're watching
It's,
Die Hard.
it's actually only like 3 hours, right? 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, total. It's not that.
Neither
bad.
of them are like mega movies.
No, not really. You could see the first Keanu Reeves, but he wasn't in that. Yes, he was.
He was in the Matrix. He's the main character.
Yeah, Neo. You guys ready for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the new one?
I haven't seen the original. So
What the
no.
fuck?
Dude, I have not seen.
Hey,
movies.
I wasn't like, what the fuck, man? You haven't played shitty Ubisoft sandbox games?
Look, man, but we're talking about
We're
movies.
talking about
I haven't
movies.
Seen, I
Yes,
haven't
we
seen,
are.
Like any, I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies. I haven't seen.
But all that stuff was kind of before our time.
Yeah. The only okay, like what other movies would you expect me to have seen, Charlie?
I mean, you already said Lord of the Rings. That
Blues
hurts.
Brothers.
I've seen Blues
We
Brothers.
watched it together.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've seen it before that. I love that movie.
Have you seen Spinal
Yeah,
Tap?
it's definitely one of my
No, I've not
favorites.
seen Spinal Tap.
Have you seen School of Rock?
I've not seen School of Rock.
Have you seen
Those are
Magic
very
Tree?
different movies.
Yeah, they are. Those don't really fall into the classics.
Spinal Tap's a classic.
It's a more niche classic, I'd say.
Yeah, which is why I was confused when you'd seen it.
The Glove.
Watch out, guys! I'm gonna disappear. All right, who threw that?
That
You
gay.
guys hear something?
Sounds like bass in the distance.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's a car driving back and forth along the street.
Yeah. How nice of that car to drive around and emanate bass.
Bass. Yeah.
Man, we were having a bass shortage.
Based.
I'd say I'd expect you to see at least the first Matrix. Like I don't think a lot. I'd be fine if you haven't
It's
seen
really-
the second or third.
The first one, it's just really fun to watch because it aged so quickly.
What?
The Matrix.
Because it's like,
The second, like the CG in the second one.
Well, it's more like they're like, oh, and they get the flip phone and like it slides out.
Yeah.
Then I remember people telling me like, yeah, when that came out, that was really cool. That kind of phone, you didn't see that. And now it's like, oh, look, they have dinosaur phones.
And there's, I can't expect Lord of the Rings, all of them.
Nope.
And The Matrix.
Nope.
Die Hard.
Nope.
Those are all before our time, though. You have to go out. They aren't like they were released and new while we were like moviegoers.
Okay, a new one. Have you new classics or something you have seen?
The first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's seen that. You like just didn't watch older movies, or?
No,
No.
I'd seen.
But
those-
like, as soon as you're like, there's older movies
I'd seen
like that you're gonna bring up. Everyone's seen them, but it's like there's like a bunch, you know.
Okay, Lord of the Rings though, like that, it's different.
Not really. It's an older
Yes.
movie.
You haven't seen like the
My-
old Star Trek movies, have
I've
you?
seen some of them. I've seen the one where they go for the whales.
That was like a my.
I haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen part of it.
I haven't seen.
Oh no, you haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes,
Yeah, I have.
despite. Well, then why are
I've
you
seen all
quoting?
three.
Why are you quoting it wrong? Are you talking about the new ones?
No, I've seen all
Then why did you quote it wrong?
because I haven't seen it. In
I
a
haven't
while.
seen. What's that movie?
Also, to describe Charlie, you know what Charlie once said to me? When I was like, "Man, you haven't played that game?" He was like, "I'm not a gamer. I'm more of a binger."
It's kind of true though. I've seen them.
I watched a lot of.
What is Max then? If I'm the capital G gamer and you're
Max
the capital
is the
B binger?
Max is the capital B booker.
Booker.
He books things.
I
by-
thought you were gonna say capital B bitch, and I was like,
that would have worked too.
Dude, like, what about capital R reader? Is that what you mean? Or no, I like Booker. Let's go with
We're
Booker.
going Booker. I mean, I've read a few books too, but Max have read more than me. You've read a lot of worse books than me.
I've read a lot of
Random,
really
terrible books.
shitty books. I've also read some really good books.
Like, I've read a lot of the classics, like Fablehaven and stuff.
It's less of a classic, more of a like, man, that's a good YA
God,
book.
I love Fablehaven. I might reread it at some. It's just solid.
Fablehaven's pretty fucking tight.
So good. The part though when Seth takes out the nail.
All right, yo, let's like. All right. Anywho, thank you for joining us tonight. We have reached the end of our stream. We hope you all enjoyed it. And if you are here watching the VOD, we hope you enjoy that as well.
We haven't said it before, but you should like, comment, and guess what? Turn on notifications, as most YouTubers say.
Don't ever do
yeah.
Don't ever
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
everyone.
Adios.
Merry Christmas, amigos.